You are looking live inside David E. Hastings Stadium here in Guelph. There you see the Hall of Famer himself, Paul Ante, doing some work ahead of tonight's matchup between the Kitchener Panthers and the Guelph Royals. Welcome inside the broadcast booth here. Mark Pare alongside Noam Streifer. And Noam, here tonight, it's the final meeting of the season between these two teams. It's the final game overall for the Guelph Royals. And there's still quite a bit on the line, perhaps for both of these teams, as you know, the standings watch has been ongoing for the last little bit, and it's really come down to the last couple of games of the season here.
Yeah, well, so tonight for Kitchener in particular, there's a lot happening. Kitchener needs a win tonight in order to sort of clinch in order to clinch 7th place in the IBL standings. If they get a win tonight and a Leafs loss tonight, Kitchener clinches. If the Leafs win tonight, then Kitchener's going to need to win out the rest of the year to get that last spot. And then looking over at other parts of the league, Pare in London, you're second and third place in the standings. They play tomorrow night to decide in a winner-take-all game who's going to be sitting at second place in those standings. And then, of course, Chatham-Kent has clinched home field advantage thanks to their tiebreaker against Hamilton, who is playing right now at 7-4 in the bottom of the ninth with a tying run at the plate.
Yeah.
2 outs.
I mean, and that's one of those games where you look at it, it was 7-1, I believe, at one point. Barry's really had a good ninth inning. You know, if Hamilton ends up winning that game tonight, really it doesn't matter what the Guelph Royals do. They'll be locked into 6th place. But if Barry ends up pulling a comeback here, all of a sudden there's a little bit of wiggle room for the Guelph Royals to squeeze into that 5 spot in the IBL standings once this season is done. Of course, Hamilton does play again tomorrow, so you know, they have the advantage of having an extra game to try to get into that 5th spot in the IBL standings. But again, we'll keep an eye on these games, and we'll let you know how that Hamilton-Barrie game ends up finishing. But again, there's so much parity in this league. That's the reason why there is so little actually decided here at the penultimate day of the IBL regular season. Now, let's go into the head-to-head matchup between the Kitchener Panthers and the Guelph Royals. Of course, tonight, two teams battling for the 6th and final time this year. The Battle of Highway 7 surely has been back and forth depending on what ballpark these two teams have played in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, at this point in the season, it sits at 2 and 3 in favor of Kitchener. But something worth noting is that Guelph has absolutely destroyed Kitchener on the road this season. And their 2 wins have both been blowout victories against the Kitchener Panthers. Last time out, in particular, they won 19-7. The lineup combined for 4 home runs from Ward, Pena, Torres, and Leader. They all had a great night, and Pena in particular had 8 RBIs. So it'll be really, really interesting to see how this Guelph Royals offense is going to respond tonight. They've been a little bit of a slump lately, but they're playing against a team who they've had some major success against in the past.
Now, let's look at some of the players to watch here tonight. Obviously, for the Guelph Royals and the Kitchener Panthers, they have a couple of familiar names that have been around these parts all season long that are doing some damage in the head-to-head series.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, for Guelph, it's going to definitely be Andy Leader. Leader has an OPS sitting at 1,000, which anytime your OPS starts with a number before the decimal point, you're elite. That's an incredible hitter to have up there. He's had 35 at-bats against the Panthers this year, and last time out, like I mentioned before, he did hit a home run. Looking over at Kitchener, it's going to be Yosvani Penalve. Penalve, a 1.2 OPS against the Panthers, against the Royals so far. In 40 at-bats, he has 2 home runs against the Royals. And, just something to sort of put it into perspective, a 1.2 OPS, that is the number that Barry Bonds had in 2001 when he hit 73 home runs. So
he did all right.
Yeah, that's a pretty good number to have there. So it'll be really interesting to see how these two guys play tonight. Penalve batting second for the Panthers, and Leader sitting at number 8 in the Guelph Royals lineup. So definitely an interesting matchup.
Well, when you look at how these two teams have done lately, let's start with the Guelph Royals, losers of 3 of their last 4 games, and a team that's trying to figure it out offensively, while the pitching has seemed to improve as the month of August has gone along.
Yeah, the pitching has been very, very consistent for the Royals so far this month, and yeah, like you were saying, it's been a little bit of a struggle on offense lately. A couple days back, Dino Ramel sort of talked about it. He sort of praised Damon Topley in his approach in that game against Hamilton, and he wants these guys to be focusing on having good professional at bats. They don't, you can't be swinging outside the zone. You need to be getting in control of the count early, and having a veteran like Topley on the bench, leading, not even on the bench, in the lineup tonight, actually leading this offense is going to be incredibly key for the Royals in this last penultimate game of the season.
Well, we're just getting word here now that it is a final score in Pare, as the Hamilton Cardinals have come up with the win in that one. So really tonight, it's for the Guelph Royals. You don't have to worry about the standings. You're already locked into your position tonight. It's about getting guys qualified.
Yeah, it is absolutely going to be about that. And so starting tonight, we have Owen Case, who just needs 2 innings.
Oh, Andrew Case.
Andrew Case, my mistake.
Yeah.
Who needs...
Owen McNeil is starting for Kitchener, by the way. Spoiler alert.
Mixed a couple things up there.
Yeah.
Andrew Case, he just needs 2 innings to qualify for the IBL playoff, so likely going to be using him as an opener tonight. It'd be nice to see what he's gonna do and how long they're going to let him go for the Royals.
Yeah, and beyond him, there's obviously Kyle Thomas. He still needs quite a few innings in order to qualify too, so I'd imagine that you'll see Kyle end up pitching for quite a few innings. I want to say 5 2/3 he has gone all season. I'd have to double check the numbers here. I don't have it fully in front of me right now, but
yeah,
he's up there. He's about halfway there, if you will. Still a little ways to go for Kyle Thomas.
Yeah, 5 1/3 for him so far this season. So needing 4 2/3 tonight to qualify for the playoffs. So I bet we're going to see some sort of scenario where Case goes 2 innings, maybe give him a third if he's looking really, really solid, then move things over to Thomas so that he can qualify for the playoffs. Again, like you said, not a lot of standings implications for these Royals, so that's going to be the priority here tonight.
And on offense, you already alluded to him, Damon Topley, still on that watch for his 500th career RBI in the IBL. Only 3 others have done that so far in league history, including his former teammate Jordan Castaldo, who did that earlier on this season. But Damon only needs 3 more plate appearances to qualify for the playoffs himself too, and he's been in the lineup quite a little bit more lately in order to get to that plateau. The Kitchener Panthers, meantime, losers of 2 straight ball games after winning 3 of their previous 4, including a 17-1 loss in Welland just 48 hours ago. We'll see how the Panthers and the Royals do here tonight, as we'll have a ceremonial first pitch here. And just to touch on Kitchener real quick while we still have a bit of time, Noam, it's a team that really needs to, they need this win. And I think, there's a lot of motivation in, possibly getting 7th place. More than enough motivation for them to, really take it to the Royals here tonight.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just looking at the standings, like we were saying earlier, if they can secure that 7th place spot, they avoid a matchup with the Welland Jackfish in the first round. That kind of gives them a nice little chance to build up some momentum against either the Majors or the Baycats, who, no slouches in and of themselves, but, Welland sitting a full 6.5 games ahead of the 2nd place team. You really want to sort of you want to push that matchup back until you can, build a little bit of confidence in the playoffs.
Well, we'll see how things go. We're going to go to the anthem, and then we got some baseball here on a Saturday night under the lights at Hastings Stadium. It is the Battle of Highway 7, the Kitchener Panthers and the Guelph Royals here on Royals TV. All right, we are live here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Welcome back to Royals TV, getting set for a battle of Highway 7. Kitchener Panthers in town on Pack the Park night. What a turnout here on a Saturday night. Of course, a lot of Kitchener fans making the trek down Highway 7 to get here tonight. The sides are filled. The grandstands right in front of us, Noam, are absolutely packed. Feels like a playoff game between these two teams.
Yeah, I'm expecting an incredible atmosphere tonight. This is by far the most packed I've ever seen a Hastings up in Guelph. So it's gonna be a good time here. Lots of real passionate fans and a nice mix of both teams.
Well, let's take a look quickly before we get into anything. The weather forecast here for tonight. It is a beautiful night, 31 degrees. The humidity, as one of our fans getting in front of our cameras. We are working on it, by the way, to get an outfield camera for the playoffs, for those that are asking. But yeah, 28 degrees, not much in terms of the humidex, but let's take a look now at the lineup for the Kitchener Panthers, managed by Pete Kiefer.
Yeah, so leading off for the Panthers, we have got Matteo Seppieri in left field, followed by Yosvani Panalve, who's going to be their right fielder. Then Yosuke Fuji is going to be playing third base. Junior Ibarra catching behind the plate and batting cleanup. AJ Karosis on the first base bag. Osawa is going to be playing center field. And then rounding out the bottom of the order, we'll have Charlie Towers, Petey Kiefer, and Trent Lawson DHing in the number 9 spot.
Right, and they will be taking on Andrew Case, who you alluded to again, just trying to get his innings to qualify for the postseason.
Yeah, Case only thrown 8 innings so far this season, but those 8 innings have been some of the best pitching that the Guelph Royals have had the privilege of witnessing this season. He sits at a 2.25 ERA in those innings, 11 strikeouts to just 1 walk, so absolutely elite control here. And his last time out against Brantford, not too shabby, through 5 innings of shutout ball, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, so not huge strikeout numbers last time out, but still getting the soft contact, still getting the outs that you need from your starting pitcher. I expect him to put on a great performance tonight in what's going to be a crucial game for him heading into the playoffs, so to build him some confidence in this game.
Yeah, the former Toronto Blue Jays farmhand got the start in that Brantford game. That was, of course, that 10-inning affair where Guelph kind of had that brain fart in the 10th inning. But Andrew Case going five innings in that one. Just needs 2 innings in order to qualify for the postseason. And we'll see how that ends up happening here tonight. As again, really it's all about just kind of getting guys qualified. Because again, with that final score in Barrie earlier on, just going final about 5 minutes ago, a 7-2 final. Actually, it's a 7-4 final, I believe. Hamilton ends up winning that one. So Guelph will play whomever ends up in 3rd place when it's all said and done, and that is still even up for grabs because, again, Barrie and London have a head-to-head matchup tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. The winner of that game will clinch 2nd. The loser of that game will clinch 3rd and will end up playing Guelph in the 1st round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's about getting the guys qualified, but also at the same time, last regular season game, great crowd like we mentioned earlier here. This is a really, really great opportunity for this Royals team. Build on what they've been doing, build on the confidence, try and get the bats going a little bit, have some good at-bats, and head into the playoffs on the right foot as we get set for first pitch.
Well, here's Matteo Seppieri, the left fielder. He has had quite the career here with the Kitchener Panthers, that on base of 386. There's a reason why he's in the leadoff spot. There's a big hack swing and a miss. He swings over top the baseball, and we're underway at 7:35 Eastern. Case delivers. That one set deep into right field, and Leader can't make the catch. It bounces off the glove and gets to the fence. Seppieri circling around to second base, and he will just stay in there. As Seppieri turns on the second pitch he sees and puts it deep to right field, and the Panthers have a base runner early on.
Yeah, tough play there for Leader a little bit. You know, as an outfielder, when you see that ball going over your head, you kind of want to turn looking over the shoulder while you're running. He was sort of backtracking on that ball a little bit. Didn't necessarily give him the speed that he needed to get to that one. Almost makes the leaping grab, but unfortunately for the Royals, runner in scoring position to start things off, not the best outcome.
We'll have to see how that ends up being scored. I would imagine that'll be scored possibly a single or even an error on the lack of a catch there on Andy Leader's part, as Yasvani Penalve will take for strike one. Penalve working out in right field tonight. As there you see Penalve's numbers. Facing an 0-1 count. As I think they're still trying to figure out how to get this game online on the point streak side of things. So figure out what it's officially scored in just a moment. It's a 1-1 count. And throw over to second base. Gets away, but Zeppieri seems to be all right.
Yeah,
will stay true.
A little break there for the Royals. That ball hit off the foot of the runner at second base, so it didn't get the chance to go into center field. So the runner stays at second.
Penalve batting .361 on the year. The 1-1 is going to miss upstairs for ball two.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, Penalve against the Royals in roughly 40 at-bats has an OPS above 1.2. So, and also has the matchup against the pitcher here. So it's interesting to see what he'll do in this at-bat.
The 2-1 flared high. It's going to go into the outfield, and that's going to get over the head of Morrow. Circling around to third is Zeppieri, and thinking about going over to second, and now they're going to be caught in a rundown. Over to first base, he's out. Penalve was trying to go over to second base. Nobody was covering first. Good communication from the Guelph Royals defense as Penalve gets picked off.
Yeah, heads up play there by Patterson to get the ball back in quickly. Also did a nice job of getting to that ball, landed in no man's land, was able to hold the runner at third base and avoid the early run here. Royals making the best of a bad situation there, getting the out that they needed.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Guelph Royals, playing in behind Andrew Case. There you see him, Ashton Patterson, J.D. Williams, and Andy Leader from left to right in the outfield. A runner on third, by the way, and that one skied high. Wilson in foul territory, gets underneath it, and he will make the catch. 2 down.
Great comeback pitch there by Case. You know, gives up the double earlier, and then the soft contact single, gets the fly ball. That's 3 fly balls on the first 3 at bats there. So Case gonna have to worry about keeping the ball in the yard tonight if he's gonna allow a lot of hits in the air.
So Junior Ibarra is going to be the batter. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense for Guelph. Takamatsu, Morrow, Torres, and Wilson. Kaner Pena is in behind home plate. So here comes the cleanup hitter in Junior Ibarra, the All-Star MVP. First pitch goes in just above the knees for strike one.
Yeah, Ibarra batting .304 on the season as a catcher, which is just excellent. You know, as a catcher, you kind of prioritize someone on defense, but when you can do it both, when you can bat cleanup for a team like this, that's an excellent sign.
Holds off on the swing. Junior at .304 average. Has had a good month of August. His average in the month of August has shot from a .274 to a .304 average, as that one misses downstairs.
And he's turning it on at the right time here, heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, he's hitting .571 in these last 4 games. That's not too shabby. Just the 1 extra base hit, but again, a team that doesn't necessarily rely on the home runs, despite leading the league with 50 of them. The 2-1, that one missing inside. Very quickly, let's take a look at the umpires for tonight's game. Jeff Rose is in behind home plate. He's the crew chief. Mike Guthrow is over at first. Nick Leffler is working third base tonight. 3 balls, 1 strike here on Junior. That one is put right on over, on the hop, right to Torres, over to first in time, and that will retire the side. So Matteo Zeppieri gets on, he moves over to third, but the Panthers with a little bit of a base running gaffe, and it remains scoreless here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Well, what do you make of that outing so far for Andrew Casey? Gives up the early hit, I guess you can say. Don't know if it's officially called a hit as of yet. We'll have to double check. But again, put it off in the back of your mind. Face the next batters and see where they can go.
Yeah, a really good bounce back there by Case. I mean, that hit to Zeppieri, it was a little bit of a tough break. It wasn't hit too hard. It kind of just got up against the wall there. Able to keep it in the yard though, and then able to get Penalve on some nice defense by Patterson over in left field. Then retires the next on a fly ball and then gets the ground ball there. So really, really good bounce back there from Case to sort of strand that runner at third. A great showing of what his ability is going to be, and there you go. That's one of the 2 innings he needs tonight in order to qualify for the playoffs.
So officially, Penalve is going to be credited with a single before that base running gaffe that advanced Zeppieri over to third. Again, this is Andrew Case just getting the job done with a runner on board. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Guelph Royals here tonight, managed by Dino Ramel.
Yeah, so leading off for the Royals, we got J.D. Williams, who's going to be playing center field, followed by Franklin Torres second. Batting third, none other than Garrett Takamatsu, who's playing third base tonight. Number 4 in the cleanup spot, we got Liam Wilson playing first base, 5, Connor Morrow at shortstop. And then number 6, like we alluded to earlier, the man who's searching for his 500th career IBL RBI, Damon Toppoli. Rounding out the bottom of the order, we've got Pena, followed by Andy Leader, and then Ashton Patterson.
And they will be taking on Owen McNeil, who has really been quite the story for the Kitchener Panthers this season as one of the main starters in this rotation here this year. And for Owen McNeil, he will start off here against J.D. Williams. And again, you saw the stats from Owen there. He's got a 3-2 record in his 13th appearance of the season, a 3.37 ERA. Now that strikeout to walk ratio, a lot more into the strikeout advantage, 46 strikeouts to 30 walks. But again, he's a guy that they rely on more often than not. Last appearance got a win on July 31st against Brantford as J.D. Williams takes one outside for ball 1. 1-1 count. The 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And for the ability that J.D. Williams does bring, one of the things he's really got to cut down on is the amount of strikeouts. He's got 36 on the year. The 1-2. That one's flared foul. Again, it'll be J.D. Torres in behind him, and Garrett Takamatsu in the 3 spot. Here comes the 1-2 for McNeil. That one's flared high into foul territory. A.J. Carosis getting underneath it, and he'll make the catch. Let's take a look at the defense for the Kitchener Panthers playing in behind Owen McNeil. Matteo Zeppieri, Ruta Osawa, Yasvani Penalve going from left to right in the outfield. Yosuke Fuji, Pete Kiefer, Charlie Towers, and A.J. Carosis working around the infield. And Junior Ibarra is in behind home plate for Owen McNeil as his battery mate. Here comes Franklin Torres, working as the second baseman. First pitch he sees, flares that one foul, and he's going to have a lot more people running after those baseballs here tonight with the amount of crowd that we have here at Hastings.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Franklin Torres, a mid-season acquisition for these Guelph Royals, but he has made the impact. In 43 at-bats, he's batting .488 on the season, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. He's walked 6 times and struck out just 3, so very good plate discipline and vision.
That one's sent high and deep in the left center, all the way back, and that one's gone! Franklin Torres goes yard. Royals take a 1-0 lead.
Nice job there by Franklin Torres. Gets the fastball up and in on the hands, gets to it quickly, able to get the barrel out over the plate, and he shoots that one over the left center field fence for his 3rd home run of the season, barely after I'd even finished talking.
Last home run was on August 8th in London. Previously, it was July 27th against Kitchener. So this is his first home run of the year for Franklin Torres, and he sends Hastings into a frenzy here early on.
Yeah, what a job to just muscle that one out to arguably the deepest part of the yard here at Hastings.
So here's Garrett Takamatsu, first pitch swinging. That'll go well foul. So that'll be the 23rd home run of the season for Guelph as a team, and the 65th home run given up by the Kitchener Panthers. Kitchener last in the IBL in that category, albeit most of those home runs have come at Jack Couch. The 1-1 to Tack is going to go down the line. That's a fair ball. It's triple territory, but is he going to test it? No, he's not. That'll get back into the infield in time, and Garrett Takamatsu gets on with a double.
And nice job there by the right fielder. Like you said, that one was in triples territory right down the line here. Gets to the ball and gets it in quickly. Nice strong throw to second base. Takamatsu in there with a stand-up double, but no chance of him pushing it there.
So that'll set things up for the former Panther, Liam Wilson, as Junior Ibarra having a conversation with Owen McNeil. And right there, that's just Junior. He knows Liam by now. He was a teammate of Wilson's a couple of years ago back in Junior's rookie campaign in the Intercounty. So he knows full well the potential that Liam Wilson brings to the plate.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of it there. Batting .315 on the season, 29 hits and 92 at-bats.
Chopper down the line, foul.
Also, fun stat, has 12 hit by pitches this season. He really crowds the plate up there. 11 walks to 13 strikeouts. This very, very solid player to have in your cleanup spot. Gets on base a lot, kind of keeps the line moving. Prototypical modern cleanup hitter.
Yeah, those 12 hit by pitches, that puts him first in the Intercounty Baseball League in that category. Brody Black with 10, Andrew Savage with 10, both Brantford Red Sox tied for second. Wearing those bruises like badges of honor, as Wilson will foul that one right back towards the Royals dugout. But good to see Liam again. He hasn't really been 100% all season long, and really trying to get used to the swings yet again after taking last year off. So a guy that slowly trying to get back into the swing of things and find his all-star form. The 0-2. That one missing into the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So throughout tonight, we will also keep an eye on the other games happening in the Intercounty Baseball League. 2 of them going on, Chatham and Welland battling, as well as Brantford-Toronto. You'll see those games after the Royals finish up their at-bats in each inning, as that one misses on the outside. So you only have to be in one place tonight to keep an eye on every game happening in the Intercounty Baseball League.
Yeah, well, it's a big night for the Intercounty Baseball League, like we were talking about. So many different standings and playoff implications tonight. The Leafs looking to usurp the Panthers for 7th place in the standings, avoid the Jackfish, so lots going on here.
Check on over to second base. McNeil delivers the 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Wilson goes down and throw over to second. Talk gets in time, and the Royals are still alive with a runner in scoring position, and that'll set up things for Connor Morrow.
Yeah, a nice pitch sequencing there for McNeil. Starts him off with a couple fastballs, then goes to the off-speed, misses with the slider low and away, but then comes back quickly with the fastball to get the swing and miss. Just kind of changes the eye level and the speed there very effectively against the Royals cleanup hitter.
So here is Connor Morrow, batting .242 on the season. Squared up to bunt, and that went way outside, so he pulls back.
Yeah, pulls back just in time there, avoids the unnecessary strike call here, so gets himself into a hitter's count early on.
McNeil gets set, the 1-0. Into the dirt. On Morrow batting .273 in the month of August. 9 for 33 this month. Has played very well as of late for the Guelph Royals organization. 2 balls, no strikes. Takes one upstairs, 3-0 rather.
Morrow batting .256 against right-handed pitching, 39 at-bats so far this season. Comparing that with his stats against lefties, relatively even, batting .289 against lefties.
Another check over to Tack, the delivery, and that'll paint the inside edge. As it looks like home plate umpire Jeff Rose thought that Morrow was crowding the plate a little bit there.
Yeah, that one just nicked the low inside part of the strike zone. May or may not have been a gift for the pitcher, but nonetheless, it's a 3-1 count.
Pitch number 19 incoming from McNeil. The 3-1 and paints the inside again for strike 2.
Yeah, there was some good movement on the breaking ball there. Stayed up and in the strike zone, and then kind of just right at the end after it crosses over the plate, bottom fell out of it. So just stays in the zone for long enough to get the call, but not very long so that the hitter can get to it.
Looking for the payoff here. Junior setting up outside. The 3-2. That one skied high. Into left field. Is it going to drop? No, it will not. Caught on the run by Petey Kiefer, and that'll retire the side. So a home run from Franklin Torres makes it 1-0 Guelph through 1 here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. We'll be back after this. You're watching Royals TV. All right, there you see it there. We're heading to the second inning. A couple of other games ongoing. Brantford with a 2-0 lead on the Toronto Maple Leafs at Christie Pitts, while Welland has a 4-0 lead on Chatham-Kent. Here it's 1-0 Guelph on a home run from Franklin Torres, and we will see the Kitchener Panthers send Karosis, Osawa, and Towers to the plate here as that first pitch is popped up by Karosis and caught by Pena.
A great bounce back there by Andrew Case, getting the first out of the inning on the very, very first pitch. Just exactly what you want to see as you're entering the second.
Well, here is Runta Osawa, but just to go back again, Brantford is in the lead here right now in Toronto. A Brantford win would guarantee a win for Kitchener in their final two. One of the final two games for Kitchener would clinch Kitchener a 7th place position and avoiding the Welland Jackfish.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, if you're Kitchener, you want to do your absolute best to be in control of your own destiny here.
Osawa takes one outside, 1-1.
And with the win here, they don't need to do any scoreboard watching. They know that they're the 7th place team.
And then they'll play the winner of Barrie London, as that one's flared foul by Osawa. Runta, of course, coming over when Yankiel Morris went down with a season-ending injury, so filling in that import slot pretty quickly did Shinif Harani. As that one's popped up into right center. J.D. Williams gets underneath it, and the center fielder will make the catch.
Case getting a lot of fly ball contact tonight. Been like, I think 5 of the first 6 batters he's faced have hit the ball in the air. So he's doing a good job of keeping it in the yard and getting that soft contact, but you're kind of playing with fire a little bit when your opponents are hitting the ball in the air a ton.
Case 1 out away from qualifying for the postseason. Here is Charlie Towers, who takes one inside.
Good first pitch there from Case, establishing the inside part of the plate and making his presence known on the mound.
Towers takes one high and away. Batting .221 on the season. Towers, former Toronto Maple Leaf, former Hamilton Cardinal. Takes one inside yet again. Very patient at the plate has been number 7 here tonight. Although that's just through three pitches.
He has 17 walks on the season, so patience is a part of his game.
Right down Broadway goes Case for strike 1. Yeah, doesn't really strike out all that often, especially lately. The 3-1 off the inside of the bat, over to first in time, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning. Andrew Case is officially qualified for the postseason. There's some action in the bullpen. I believe that's Kyle Thomas. We'll see if he comes in when we head to the top half of the next inning, but for now, the Guelph Royals are up to bat with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, solid first 2 innings there from Andrew Case. That's kind of exactly what you want from your opener. Sets the tone. Case, a bit of a harder thrower. Move things over to Thomas. He's going to come in with a little bit more finesse out of the pen. So, a good managerial decision there, and Case just comes back after giving up that leadoff double and has an excellent 2 innings.
So Owen McNeil back up here. It'll be Damon Topley, Kaner Pena, and Andy Leader due up. And again, you would have loved to see Damon Topley finish off the first inning or perhaps extend it, but he will be the leadoff batter here for the Guelph Royals. Again, just needs 3 plate appearances in order to qualify for the postseason. He has been in the last couple of games, has gotten about 4 plate appearances each. Now is his chance to get into position and not only qualify, but again, we are still on milestone watch. Tonight's the last night for him, at least in 2025, to try to reach that plateau.
Yeah, looking for career RBI number 500. You know, Topley, just a legendary player in the Intercounty Baseball League, and the stats this season haven't been that great, batting just 1-67 in 12 at-bats, but the veteran presence and the knowledge that he brings to this Guelph Royals lineup, the significance of that cannot be overstated.
Now batting 167 here with the Royals, 2 for 12. And just for those that are, thinking about how this qualification thing works with plate appearances, it's obviously the at-bats plus the walks plus the hit by pitches. He hasn't been hit by a pitch. He's got 3 walks on the season, split between Toronto and Guelph, and he's also got 18 at-bats overall. So you add that up, that's an even 21. Blackjack. That'll go across for strike 1. So 3 more plate appearances for Damon here. And You'd like to see him do a little bit of damage here for the Guelph Royals. Patient there, but getting a part of the strike zone there is McNeil for strike 2.
Yeah, McNeil going in with 2 straight fastballs to start off the at-bat against the veteran. 49 years old, the bat speed ain't the same as it used to be.
The 0-2, that one missing on the outside as Ibarra started to pull back to throw over to third for the strikeout, but just didn't get the call there. Now he sets up more outside. The 1-2, chopper. Right to Fuji, over to first, in time, and that'll retire Toppoli.
Fuji with a nice little spin move there, kind of has to throw it off balance. Fields it on a weird little Hastings hop, but able to make the recovery, takes the momentum, bring him over to first, and makes a strong throw.
So that'll set things up for Kitchener Pena. Acquired at the deadline. Now the everyday catcher for the Guelph Royals, batting .286 in his first 9 games. McNeil delivers. That one paints the outside. Seems like the pitchers, they've been getting quite a bit of strikes on those outside edges. They've been really painting here tonight. No paint job there. That just missed.
Yeah, it's been a generous strike zone here to start things off. Lots of borderline pitches getting those calls, but it's been consistent so far for both teams.
Comes the 1-1. Flared foul. Everybody will start going running after that one.
Pena batting .286 in just 9 games so far this season. Another midseason acquisition for the Royals. In those 9 games, though, has 2 homers and 10 RBIs, and he's walked 4 times.
Has struck out quite a bit. There's a swing and a miss, speaking of which. Strike number 3 as Owen McNeil gets his second K of the evening.
Yeah, chases the changeup there at the bottom of the zone. Again, just bottom completely fell out of it. Sits up there. Looks like a nice thing for the hitter to take a stab at, and then just it's gone before you even get the chance to get the bat around.
Well, here comes the former Panther, Andy Leader.
Leader, I mentioned earlier, against the Panthers has an OPS above 1,000, so has a lot of experience and somebody that has played this team tough.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Yes, this year, Leader batting .400 against the Panthers. Puts that one high. Ibarra looking at it, and he will make the catch. 3 up, 3 down. As we will go to break, the Guelph Royals won, the Kitchener Panthers no score. Here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph, you're watching Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. There you see it. The last time we checked in, it was a 2-0 score. Brantford hit the lead. Toronto now threatening. They have 2 runs on the board now. It's tied at 2 at Christie Pitts. As we welcome you back inside Hastings Stadium in Guelph, Petey Kiefer the batter for the Kitchener Panthers. They will send the 8-9 one-hitters to the plate here in the 3rd inning. And a new pitcher will come into the ball game. It's Kyle Thomas coming in for the Guelph Royals as he pitches the first one in.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier with Thomas, he's looking for 4 2/3 innings to qualify for the playoffs. So far, he's thrown 5 1/3 to a 6.75 ERA on the season in 4 games.
That one's squibbed. Thomas over to first in time.
Nice job there by Thomas. Gets the batter on top of the off-speed pitch and kind of chops it out to the mound. Makes a nice play there to turn around and flip it on to first pretty quickly.
Former Detroit Tigers prospect, 3rd year in the Intercounty Baseball League. And again, still has about 4 1/3 left to go before he qualifies for the postseason. First pitch taken there by Trent Lawson. Batting as the designated hitter tonight. Usually you see him in the outfield, but he's been taking a lot of time as the DH, especially in the latter half of the season. The Panthers have really gone to that trio in the outfield, and Zeppieri, Osawa, and Penalve quite a bit in the last few weeks. As that'll be taken on the outside for a strike.
Quickly ahead, 1 2 here against Lawson, who's batting .232 on the season in 99 at-bats. A little bit of power as well, 4 homers so far.
That one sent into right center. Leader going for a run, and it's going to get over him. All the way to the fence it goes. Lawson circling around. He's got some speed. He's thinking 3. Lawson into 3rd, and that's going to get away from Takamatsu. And getting into 3rd safely is Trent Lawson.
Yeah, Thomas, good job there to back that one up. Avoid the run coming in to score there. But Lawson doing a nice job there, hitting the ball where it's pitched. Takes the fastball in the upper outer half of the plate and just muscles it to the opposite field in the gap there. Now, the Royals are going to have to deal with a runner at 3rd and less than 2 outs.
So here's Matteo Zeppieri, officially credited with a double in his first at-bat. That was that hit into right field that went off the glove hand of Andy Leader, and that one's going to be fouled back in behind the grandstands here. So a 1-out triple here for Trent Lawson. He's 90 feet away from tying this game. A deep fly out could drive him home. That one misses inside.
Zeppieri batting .270 on the season, 6 homers. So like you said, does have the ability to kind of muscle that one out to the outfield and try and bring in that tying run early on in this one.
A great pickup for the Panthers. There is more activity in the bullpen for the Royals. The 1-1. Howen missing inside.
I believe it's Brandon Deans out there throwing, number 91.
Well, I'd imagine that might be just keeping him fresh just in case Thomas runs into trouble. But again, you need Thomas to go an extra few innings here to qualify for the postseason.
Yeah, you wanted him to eat up a big chunk in the middle of this game.
Howen missing inside. Plus, it could be just, getting some throws in. Because when you look at Brandon Deans, 12 appearances on the year. He's well qualified for the postseason. But he hasn't pitched since August 9th. As that one goes in behind home plate. Pena get a beating on it, and he will catch it for the 2nd out. That's a big out.
Yeah, Pena there doing a really nice job sticking with that ball onto the warning track. Nearly runs into the grandstand here at Hastings, but sticks with it, takes off the mask. Just textbook play there behind the plate by the catcher.
Yeah, and just to go back to Deans for a moment, again, hasn't pitched since August 9th, so it's been about a week since. This is the last game of the regular season. You're not going to play until probably Thursday or Friday night, whomever you play in the playoffs. So I think, if anything, you're just trying to keep Deans, fresh and, maybe just a simulated bullpen session out there for Brandon, just so he doesn't sit for 2 weeks in between, competition or, high-level kind of throwing, if you will.
Yeah, well, and pitchers oftentimes are creatures of habit. They're people who they need to be in their routine. They need to be throwing often, because a lot of times if you don't throw for 2 weeks, you're going to lose that control and you have to settle in, and that could be the difference between a win and a loss in the playoffs.
Penalve laces that one foul. He hit a single in the first. Again, he got caught in a rundown in between first and second base. Really not sure what he was thinking on that play in the first inning, but here comes the 0-2. That one will get by Wilson into first base, and that is a single for Penalve. We are tied at 1 as Lawson comes in to score.
Yeah, Penalve kind of undoing the injustice from the first inning there, getting the RBI and tying this one early on here.
I think you can call that a Hastings hop, just with the way that baseball took a hop in the infield there and hopped over Wilson. So here's Yosuke Fuji. He popped one up into foul ground, and Wilson put him out. That one skied high. Shallow right field. Torres getting underneath it, and he'll make the catch. So the Panthers come back. They get a run on the board. We are tied at 1 here at Hastings in Guelph. And again, right there, you see Kyle Thomas, getting in his first action here. And, so far, again, gives up the triple, ends up having a run driven in. But, again, you're going to be relying on him to really just carry the lion's share of the rest of the game.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Guelph here, they are looking to win, are looking to build up some of that momentum heading into the playoffs, but the primary focus on this game tonight is making sure that everyone qualifies for the playoffs, making sure you have the depth for when it's truly a must-win game. And so likely they're going to keep Thomas in and just let him eat the innings that he needs.
So Owen McNeil back on the bump here for Kitchener. As looks like Brantford just hit a home run. Let's take a look quickly at that. Yeah, let's take a look quickly at that, as it looks like Brantford has taken a 3-2 lead. Looks like that is Ren Takioka that sent one over the Solazzo fence. So Brantford taking a 3-2 lead as we continue to keep an eye on the out-of-town scoreboard. 5-0 Welland over Chatham-Kent, a game that really just means nothing in the standings at this point. Chatham-Kent pretty much wrapped up 4th, and you have the Welland Jackfish, who will play the 8th seed as the pennant winners.
Yeah, and it cannot be understated the dominance of the Welland Jackfish this season. They sit full 6.5 games ahead of anybody in second place. Just at this point, for Kitchener and Toronto, these two teams battling for the 7th and 8th seeds, it's about who has to face Welland and who's gonna have the better matchup. And Kitchener.
Who do you think matches up better, Toronto or Kitchener?
Against Welland?
Against Welland.
Toronto, I think, matches up against Welland a little better. They've had some solid success against them on the road so far this season. And if I'm Kitchener, this game really is a must-win. Even though it's not going to dictate whether or not they're in the playoffs, Kitchener matches up a lot better with London or Pare.
Here's Ashton Patterson to begin the home half of the 3rd. First pitch he sees, it goes inside and off the bat, and it hits Jeff Rose, the home plate umpire. Looks like he's all right. Yeah, again, that Barrie London game is going to be very, very. It's going to be a playoff game. It's going to feel like a playoff game.
Yeah, well, because it basically is, if you really think about it.
The 0-1, that one missing on the outside. Well, and this is the one thing, too, is that if it is the top 4 seeds that do advance into the semifinals, that game tomorrow decides home field advantage.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Again, it has to reach there, as we have seen some upsets in the IBL in the last few years.
Yeah,
and it's always that 2 versus 7 matchup that's always been kind of iffy. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Ashton. McNeil gets set, the delivery. Squib down the line. Fuji can't get to it, but Kiefer does. Over to first, in time, and Patterson's retired. Back to the top of the order we go with J.D. Williams.
Williams flew out his last time up to lead off the game for the Guelph Royals, looking for better fortunes here in his second at bat.
Here's an alternate question. Kitchener wins tonight, Toronto loses. Kitchener wins, 7th place, they clinch it. Who are they rooting for tomorrow, Barrie or London?
That's a really good question.
That one sent foul, nearly hitting the speaker.
I think Kitchener matches up a little bit better with London. London having an excellent season, but a team that lacks pitching depth a little bit. So the kind of team where if you're able to have good at-bats against them, you get deep into their bullpen, you kind of give yourself a little advantage later on in those games and in those innings.
The 0-1 painting the outside edge for strike 2 here on Williams. I mean, you're not wrong about that one. I think that's been the number 1 critique of the London Majors this year, is that the pitching just has not been there outside of, the starters. Obviously, Skylar Janice coming out of the bullpen, saves later. There's strike 3. So Owen McNeil puts down his 3rd batter via the strikeout. But, outside of Skylar Janice, by the way, congratulations to him, tying the IBL record with 12 saves last night. Outside of him, who has, pitched, I think, about 60 to 65, even 70% of London's games this year. And this is all due respect to the rest of the bullpen, but the depth just isn't there like it has been in the last few years.
Yeah, well, and I mean, moving also over, taking a look at how Barrie has done this season. Barrie had a tough start to their year in the month of May and early June, and since then have really turned things up. They're entering the playoffs as one of the hotter teams in the IBL. So if I'm Kitchener, I'd rather face the team that has sort of spread out their wins over the course of the season, might not be on as much of a hot streak as the other one.
Well, here's Franklin Torres. Speaking of hot, he's got a home run. He hit one into left center, the deepest part of the ballpark, right over the 397 sign. That would have been a home run in any ballpark in the IBL, maybe even a couple of major league ballparks too.
Yeah, deepest part of the yard here at Hastings, 397 out in the left center gap.
The 1-1 is going to be put foul. Looks like everybody's all right. I think it hit a tree and ended up dropping right near the grandstands right beside the Panthers dugout.
Reminds me of a couple weeks back when we had that ball that hit and broke one of the lights in that
Ooh,
in
yeah.
nearly the exact same location.
Well, we had one drop about half a foot away from a youngster that was sitting on the benches over there.
Yeah, fans got to stay alert here at Hastings. This ball is flying everywhere, and there's not a lot of fencing.
That one missing upstairs. The lights are officially on here at Hastings Stadium. We are officially under the lights here on a Saturday night as day starts to turn in tonight.
Yeah, things cooling down a little bit as well out on the field. It's a beautiful summer night, though.
The 2-2 missing way outside on Franklin Torres.
Yeah, a crucial pitch upcoming here. If you lose Torres, you're going to have to face Takamatsu with a runner on base.
Kiefer and Towers playing to the edge as that one's flared foul yet again.
Torres doing a nice job there, just sticking with that ball the whole way. Gets it off the end of the bat, but stays alive in the count here, trying to make McNeil throw a lot more pitches and get him out of this game early on.
Did that pitch knock over a light down there? There's a little bit more activity down right near the Panthers bullpen. I saw both general managers having a conversation down there too. The 3-2. Two hopper to Towers. Over to first in time. And 3 up, 3 down go the Royals. It is a 1-1 game here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. The Panthers and the Royals here on Royals TV. To Royals TV as we get set for the 4th inning here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Mark Pare, Noam Strifer here with you. Junior Ibarra, AJ Kurosis, and Runta Osawa due up here for the Panthers. As Kyle Thomas remains in the ball game here. And again, for Thomas, just needs to get to his 10 innings of work before you might turn it over to perhaps even a Brandon Deans to close out the game. This has been a close one here so far as the Panthers got their run in the last inning. An RBI single from Yasvani Pinalve. Franklin Torres hit a bomb to left center to open the scoring back in the first.
Yeah, Barr on his second at bat of the night. He grounded out to the second baseman last time around. Looking for better fortunes here. Start the Kitchener Panthers off with a good 4th inning.
Junior hit into a 4-3 ground out his last time up. The 1-2. Swing and a foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. And Kyle Thomas gets Junior Ibarra. So here's A.J. Carosis. He popped one to the catcher to lead off the second inning.
Yeah, nice bounce back there by Kyle Thomas in the first at-bat. Surrenders the run last inning, then gets Ibarra, the cleanup hitter, on swing and strikeout to start things off here.
Carosis will take, and that one is off the plate.
Carosis flew out behind the plate to the catcher last time around.
That'll go across for a strike. Carosis hitting .252 on the year. He went 0 for 4 against Welland on Thursday. Previous to that, had a 3-game hitting streak going for him. 2 of those 3 games at home. The 1-1, that one is put into right field, a base hit for AJ.
Carosis raises the average there. He's batting .246 against right-handed pitching so far this season. 12 RBIs, 3 homers, so a good matchup there for him against Thomas.
So here comes Runta Osawa, a fly out to J.D. Williams back in the second inning. Pena sets up outside. The delivery. That one missing upstairs.
And something that Thomas is going to need to get on top of is getting ahead in these counts early on. You started off a lot of the batters with the first pitch ball here, and when you're working from behind, it's tough as a pitcher to be in control.
As that'll go across for a strike.
Pena doing a nice job there, sets up on the outer half of the plate. That ball kind of just nicks the out half of the strike zone, but it looks down the middle because of where the catcher's positioned himself.
That one's put into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Osawa officially 1 for 2 tonight.
Osawa getting jammed on that one there on the inside off-speed pitch, but just able to get it out into no man's land, kind of muscles it over the head of Takamatsu over at third base there. A nice turn of events here for the Panthers. 2 runners on and just 1 out in the inning.
So here comes Charlie Towers, the second baseman. He's 0 for 1. And now the Panthers starting to threaten here. Again, they realize what's on the line here tonight. A win keeps them in the running for 7th place as that one's fouled back. Again, a win tonight for Kitchener combined with a Toronto loss means Kitchener will have 7th place wrapped up. The 0-1 right on the outside edge for a strike.
Towers on the season is batting .250 with runners on base, 52 at bats so far. Has homered once and driven in 8 in this situation. With runners in scoring position, even better, batting .290.
That's going to get away from Pena. That'll advance both runners. A free 90 on the wild pitch. Just got away from Pena there. You might even call that a pass ball.
Yeah, Pena got to it quickly, but not quick enough to stop the runners from advancing 1 base, but saves them from advancing 2 with the big territory here at the back, near the backstop at Hastings.
Thomas gets set, wants to be sure of this one. Here comes the 1-2. That one missing way up high. And it evens the count at 2-2. Little delivery. That one missing downstairs.
You see Pena there behind the plate, signaling signaling and setting up on the outer half against the lefty here. Thomas just holds on to the pitch a little bit too long, ends up pulling it down and below the zone.
That one is going to be put foul into the crowd and out of play. Towers, the Toronto native, came on over from the Maple Leafs last season. Came on over from the Maple Leafs ahead of this season, I should say. Played last year with Toronto, the 3-2. That one's squibbed high. Playable here as Liam Wilson goes into the infield. He'll make the catch, 2 down.
A nice comeback there by Thomas. Get this pass ball there by Pena, gives up the 2 base hits. All of a sudden, though, there's 2 outs here, and a really solid chance for Thomas to work out of this jam in the 4th, which could end up being critical in this ball game.
So here comes Petey Kiefer. He is 0 for 1. Another guy that they've been trying to qualify for the postseason. In fact, he's there as of this at-bat. Actually, it was as of the last at-bat. This is his 25th plate appearance of the year when he combined everything, so Petey has qualified for the postseason already. The 0-1. That one's put high into deep center field. Getting on the back foot is J.D. Williams, and he'll make the catch. That'll retire the side, so the Panthers get a couple on board, but they can't drive them in. It remains 1-1 as we head to the home half of the 4th inning, still with a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, Williams on that play at the end of the inning there. Got a little bit of a bad read on the ball, comes in to start it off, and then has to adjust and make his way back to it. Unfortunately for him, it hung up long enough for him to make the catch, and no damage done as the 1-1 tie remains heading into the bottom of the 4th.
The one thing Kitchener is going to have to try to figure out here, as Alberto Gonzalez is having a word with the home plate umpire, Jeff Rose. Not too sure what his grievance is here at this point, but again, if you're the Kitchener Panthers, you've already left 4 runners on base. You got to start driving those guys in.
Yeah, they've done a good job so far starting off innings. They're getting runners on, they're getting those early hits, but then the pressure's getting to them. They're not bringing them around to score. They've had runners on third at 2 separate occasions and not brought them in. Not the kind of thing that you want here in a game that's going to be really critical for their playoff seeding.
Well, alternately for the Guelph Royals, this has been their August, where it's kind of been a Jekyll and Hyde kind of month for them. They went 3-1 in their first 4 games of the month, but in the last 4 games really started to fall off. The batting average took a dip. The ERA started to get quite a bit better as well, 4.50 to a 4.22 pitcher's ERA. But, again, the batting average just hasn't been there in the last 4 games especially.
Yeah, well, that was something that Dino Ramel kind of commented on, was that they've been a little bit jumpy at the plate. They're trying to make things happen, and they're not necessarily sitting back, being as patient as they can be, letting the ball come into the zone. And it's something that some veteran presence and a little bit of relaxation is going to really help this Guelph Royals team with.
So here's Garrett Takamatsu. He had a double back in the first as we're back underway here in the home half of the 4th. It'll be Takamatsu, Wilson, and Morrow due up here for the Royals. Everybody's still getting settled here at Hastings. What a crowd here tonight. Pack the Park night. You have delivered, Guelph and Kitchener, as their strike 1 here on Takamatsu. Owen McNeil still on the bump here for Kitchener. Up to 44 pitches. 30 of them have gone for strikes. In on the hands, right to Kiefer. Over to first, and that is just barely going to be an out as Carosas had to get on the hops to bring that ball down.
Yeah, you can see Takamatsu running up the line there, slams the bat down, clearly not happy with the swing there. just gets out in front and in on the hands on a pitch that he knows he should have held back on.
So here's Liam Wilson.
Wilson struck out back in the first, hoping for better fortunes this time around.
The delivery, that one will miss. Wilson 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first. Holes off on the swing there. That one missing the outside.
Wilson, somebody who hits, as a righty, who hits better against right-handed pitching. In 40 at-bats this season, he's batting .325 with a homer and 7 runs driven in.
And that'll be taken for a strike.
Against righties, he's walked 7 times and struck out just 6. So anytime you're walking more than you're striking out, that showcases an excellent plate approach and just the ability to lay off those tough pitches and make the pitcher pitch to your strengths.
As that one's going to be fouled. Oh, Wilson, the former Kitchener Panther, would love to bird his former team here. Again, Guelph nothing to play for here tonight other than just to keep the reps going ahead of the postseason. Team that made the IBL Finals a year ago. That one's flared into right field. Penalve will get underneath it, and he'll make the catch, 2 down.
Well, and that's also another thing that you can think about is if you're Guelph, who are you rooting for in that game between London and Barrie? Sitting at the 6th seed, if Barrie ends up losing and has to play as a 3 seed, you have a nice chance there to sort of get a little bit of revenge against the defending champions in the first round of the playoffs. So that's something they could be looking out for as well on the heels of this game tonight.
So here comes Connor Morrow. He popped one in the infield, caught by Kiefer. As there is strike number 1. That one off the top of the bat, and it catches Junior Ibarra on the fingers. He's going to need a moment here.
Yeah, that's a tough one there as a catcher. You know, you wear all that equipment, but the most vital parts of your game don't have a lot of protection. So the umpire going to give him a little bit of a minute there to recover and walk the ball out to the pitcher.
Still in a 1-1 tie. The Welland game has gone final. The 0-2, that one missing on the outside.
A nice attempt there by McNeil to try and get the swing and miss from Connor Morrow. Just puts it a little bit too far outside, a non-competitive pitch there, and Morrow just spits on it.
By the way, it was a 5-0 win for Welland over Chatham-Kent, so Welland will go into Kitchener tomorrow. There's a swing and a miss. Throw over to first, and they'll just tag the bag to complete the out. So it's another 1-2-3 inning as Owen McNeil suddenly has gone very, very hot. He has retired the last, count them up, 9, 10, 11 Guelph batters. As we head to the 5th here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. It is a 1-1 tie, Panthers and the Royals here on Royals TV.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hardline drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Hastings Stadium in Guelph for Royals TV. It is a 6-3 ball game. Toronto with a lead over Brantford, as you see on the screen there. We welcome you back inside Hastings Stadium here in Guelph. To the 5th inning we go. Kyle Thomas still in the ball game here, taking on Trent Lawson, Matteo Zeppieri, and Yusvani Penalve for the Panthers. He skies one high, deep to center field, back, and that is going to stay in the ballpark, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Trent Lawson, as it looked like J.D. Williams pulled that one back in and saved a home run. But I think they're going to look at this one. Here comes Pete Kiefer. He wants a conversation between the three umpires.
Yeah, that one, it looked like it hit right off the top of the wall, and then Williams was sort of able to use his throwing arm to kind of push it back in to the field of play.
Now, for those that aren't familiar with the dimensions here at Hastings Stadium, there is a big black fence over the yellow line in center field. A very quick decision by the umpires. They're going to say that it did not leave the ballpark. So again, it has to hit that black fence before anything in order for it to be called a home run. And it looks like the umpires say that J.D. Williams prevented that from happening.
Yeah, way to make something of nothing there by Williams.
So Trent Lawson with a triple and a double in this game. And here's Matteo Zeppieri, who's 1 for 2 with a double. That one misses on the outside. Zeppieri popped one to the catcher back in the third. And that one misses way inside.
We're about midway through this one, but if anyone else is keeping track, with that double, Lawson now has a triple and a double on the night. So he's two quarters of the way towards the cycle.
Broadcaster jinx, anyone? That one's skied foul. See, I alluded to it, but I didn't really want to say it. Then again, I'm speaking as the guy who said no-hitter 5 different times in the game that Owen Boone threw the no-hitter.
Yeah, well, and last time we called a game, you called an immaculate inning in the first inning after a 3-pitch strikeout.
Hey, sometimes you really just want the broadcaster jinx to happen. Sometimes you don't. That one's popped into foul territory. Liam Wilson gets underneath it. He'll make the catch. And what am I saying? Wishing for things to happen? I'm here to be an impartial broadcaster.
Right.
Especially tonight. I work for both of these teams. No.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. You do work for both teams.
So here is Yusvani Penalve. I mean, keep in mind, I'm calling it for the Royals here tonight. I still have to do the write-up for the Kitchener Panthers on the Kitchener Panthers website after tonight. And call the game in Kitchener tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround for you, eh? Heading to Kitchener tomorrow morning right after this.
Well, it's not just that, too. I have Game 1 of the Major Series Lacrosse Final. So here's hoping that Welland doesn't put a 20 spot on the board tomorrow. Or I'm just hoping for a quick game tomorrow, no matter what ends up happening.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping for a quick game. That's so I can get down to Six Nations in time to actually call the lacrosse game, which starts at 7 o'clock. So, maybe about a 3-hour, just under 3 hours gives me enough time to motor down between Jack Couch and the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena.
Yeah, a little issue for you, though. You're a man who believes in the announcer's curse, and you just said that on the air, so you're getting a 4.5-hour slugfest tomorrow.
Don't even. I know maybe some Welland fans might be listening to this one here tonight. Tell your boys, let's keep it to 2.5, please. Just 2.5. Not just for my own sake, but just for the sake of everybody. I mean,
yeah,
fact of the matter is, we have had a lot of longer games in the IBL this year. We need to cut down on that.
Yeah, don't you want to rest up a little bit heading into the playoffs?
Exactly. Here's Yosvani Penalve, who takes the first pitch strike. As that was a mound visit, by the way, in the midst of everything, to Kyle Thomas. He's already through 2 1/3. Check over to second base. That one inside. Catches Pena for a moment, but looks like he's all right.
Penalve 2 for 2 on the night with 2 singles, but back in the first had that weird little play where he got thrown out by Patterson trying to stretch it into a double. I think he might have been trying to sort of juke out the fielders to get the throw over there so the runner could have came in to score, but to no avail.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on second. The delivery. That one missing high and away. So we can tell you that the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, the first team to get all 42 games in this year. They have a 22-20 record, reversing their 20-22 record from a year ago.
This is what, Chatham-Kent's second or third season in the league?
Second year in the league. So, they now have a franchise high 22 wins to shoot for in year 3 next year. 3 balls, 1 strike here on Penalve. Upstairs for ball 4. Penalve will take his base.
Yeah, it's a solid win total for just a second-year expansion franchise in a league like this. A lot of teams will take a number of years to really start becoming competitive.
Well, and again, that also gives an opportunity for Chatham-Kent to battle Hamilton in the first round of the playoffs. That is official, as again, Hamilton, Guelph cannot catch them even with a win. That'll miss. They haven't actually updated the game from Barrie. Hamilton with a victory. They now have 21 wins, so Guelph can't tie them. Guelph will clinch 6th. Hamilton will clinch 5th. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2 here on Yosuke Fuji. Hamilton does have 1 game left tomorrow against Brantford. And even if they win to tie Chatham-Kent in the standings, Chatham-Kent holds the tiebreaker. So Chatham-Kent will have home field advantage in the first round against the Cardinals. Everything else still to be decided, as that one misses on the outside.
Yeah, well, home field advantage for Chatham-Kent is even more so, just with the long drive to get out there into the sort of Windsor area. So it's something to definitely keep an eye on.
Yosuke Fuji 0 for 2. Runner on first and second, and he sends one down the line, foul. Oh, and they're going to be in tough as well. Again, Chatham-Kent losing a couple of players, namely Evan Morrison, who has been probably their best hitter all season, as they go to the college ranks. So they're going to have to look for that offense somewhere else. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Popped up. Williams calling for it in center field, looking for it, he lost it, and that is going to drop. Throw back into the infield, and the bases are loaded. J.D. Williams lost the baseball. Morrow went out there as well to try to track it down, but the Panthers stay alive here in the inning. Bases loaded with 1 away for Junior Ibarra.
And tough play there for J.D. Williams loses it above the lights, but also you can see he's kind of signaling that he's calling for it. So shortstop Morrow isn't exactly able to get out there with full speed and full time, so it drops and now the bases are loaded.
So Fuji is going to be credited with the single, so he's 1 for 3. And now Ibarra with a chance to give the Panthers their lead, the first lead of the night, as that one misses on the outside for ball 1.
Ibarra 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to the second baseman so far tonight. Comes up in a big opportunity here.
Thomas delivers. Flared back, foul, 1 ball, 1 strike.
On the season, Ibarra in 5 at-bats has 3 RBIs with the bases loaded. Just 1 hit, so it would have been a bases-clearing hit.
And it's a guy that has a grand slam to his tally in his IBL career. I believe it was in his rookie year in Welland. I'd have to double-check that, but he does have a grand slam to his credit. Chopper to Morrow, gets it on the hop, gets 1, and that'll do it. 1 run will come in to score, 2-1 Panthers.
Heads-up play there by Morrow, getting the force at third. Takamatsu is communicating very well, able to get over to third, cover the bag nicely. They do surrender a run on the play, but instead of a runner on second and third, they're here with runners on first and second and 2 outs, which feels a little bit more manageable in the mid stages of this ball game.
That'll bring back A.J. Carosis, who's 1 for 2. Panthers now with their first lead of the night. Runners take their lead, and that one paints the outside edge for strike 1. Kyle Thomas remaining in this game. Up to 51 pitches. Still needs a couple more innings before he qualifies for the postseason. That one missing. Throw back into second, and unable to hold on to the baseball was Connor Morrow. On line from Kaner Pena, but Morrow just unable to get Fuji over at second base.
Yeah, Pena placed that ball perfectly on the left side of second base there. If Morrow was able to hold on, likely would have had the runner and been out of the inning.
The 1-1. That one missing inside. Good grab there by Pena to prevent the runners from advancing.
Yeah, aside from that one little passed ball earlier on in this one, Pena has had a very, very good night calling behind the plate here. It's just time for the Royals to score some runs in their next inning.
8 hits now for the Panthers. The 2-1, that one sent foul into the screen. 8 hits for the Panthers, just 2 hits for the Royals, as Owen McNeil has had a solid last 3 innings of work, and he's getting a little bit of extra rest here on the bench. Thomas gets set. Here comes the 2-2 inside. That one set down the line, all the way back, and that is gone! Home run, A.J. Carosis, a 3-run shot. And the Panthers are up 5-1.
Carosis just blowing this game wide open. Takes the inside fastball, turns on it, and just hammers it down the line. Hits it to the best place you can hit it as a lefty here at Hastings. And all of a sudden, the Royals have a 4-run deficit to work with here.
Runta Osawa will now be the batter, and A.J. Carosis, again, for a ballpark that isn't exactly hitter-friendly, there have been a lot of long balls in this game. A.J. Carosis with a home run. Obviously, Franklin Torres with a no-doubter. That's the only run on the board here for the Guelph Royals. The delivery, that one missing upstairs and away. Well, check in on the other game in just a few moments. But again, Kitchener with a win combined with a Toronto loss to Brantford tonight would clinch Kitchener's 7th place and avoiding the Welland Jackfish.
Thomas about to set up for his 59th pitch of the night through just 2 2/3, so still sits a little bit of a ways away from qualifying for the IBL playoffs here in this one.
Pena sets up outside. That one's put into foul territory. Wilson getting underneath it, and he makes the catch. That'll do it. But 4 runs on the board for the Panthers, including a 3-run bomb from A.J. Carosis. Makes it a 5-1 game as we head to the home half of the 5th. The Royals know them. Suddenly, they have some work to do.
Yeah, it was a tough inning for Kyle Thomas, surrendering 4 runs on 3 hits in this one, including that big home run. He kind of has been just struggling to stay ahead in the count. He's given up a lot of first pitch balls throughout his work tonight. So he's gonna, if he wants to succeed, he's basically guaranteed another inning and 2/3 to qualify for the IBL playoffs. So if he wants to be successful in that next little bit, he's going to have to get ahead of these batters early on in the count in the way that he hasn't so far tonight.
It'll be Damon Topley, Kitchener Pena, and Andy Leader due up here for the Royals. And suddenly the Maple Leafs find themselves in a bit of trouble as we take a look at the other game happening right now. It's in the 3rd inning, and it is a 6-5 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Brantford threatening, though. Brody Black is up to bat, and the tying run is on 3rd base. So that's been a very, very close game at Christie Pitts tonight.
Yeah, well, in a game that's crucial for the Kitchener Panthers, of course, leading here. But if with a Panthers win tonight and a Leafs loss, that clinches the 7 seed for the Kitchener Panthers. So something that they, obviously not out on the field right now, but something they're going to be keeping tabs on following this one.
Well, I'm sure that they might be getting updates in the dugout as this game goes along. But we'll look at that game a little bit more at the end of this upcoming inning. But we'll see if the Guelph Royals can get back into this one. Damon Topley is 0 for 1. He will lead things off here for the Guelph Royals, who have struggled mightily against Owen McNeil in the last 3 innings.
Yeah, McNeil retiring the last 11 straight Guelph Royals, taking on the 49-year-old vet here to start this one off.
Owen missing downstairs. How about last night, though, as you had Fernando Rodney pitching in the 9th for the Hamilton Cardinals and Damon Topley stepping up? How about a 49-year-old taking on the 48-year-old? 2 legends in the game of baseball for 2 very different reasons.
Yeah.
That one's put into right field. Topley gets on base with a hit.
Yeah, well, and there you go, showing the veteran presence and the veteran ability there. Takes that pitch, and again, like I mentioned earlier, 49 years old. The bat speed's not necessarily there, but still able to get to that pitch up in the zone just by proxy of his good approach. Hits it on a line to the opposite field, just like the penultimate base hit right there.
Here's Kitchener Pena, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Holds off, but it's going to be a strike anyway.
Worth noting that Topley just needs 1 more at bat after this one to qualify for the IBL playoffs. So if he gets on base next time, possible pinch run opportunity with the Royals being down.
That'll miss way away from the plate. Well, and it's been sucking for Topley just in the position that he's been batting tonight. Both times he's been the leadoff man in an inning. So not really an opportunity to, get a chance at the plate with runners on base. So really, if he wants his 500th RBI, he would have to drive it over the fence, as there's a swing and a miss from Pena for strike 2. But not really. He is top 25 all time in home runs, mind you, but as I was talking with Dino Ramel not too long ago, as well as Damon, and you mentioned it as well, Noam. You like his approach, not necessarily swinging for the fences, but a guy that, good bat to ball skills.
Yeah, someone that he really reminds me of, actually, his sort of major league comparison is somebody like Alejandro Kirk. Really, really good bat to ball skills, makes contact a ton, excellent approach to the plate, doesn't swing at those borderline pitches, and hits for the contact that you need. And he's actually a very good archetype for a number 6 hitter in this lineup. Very much just keeps the line moving.
Pena flies one high. Penalve getting underneath it. He lost the baseball cap, but he makes the catch anyway, and there's one down. So here comes Andy Leader. And as we look at the other game, it is now 6-6, Toronto and Brantford.
It's a tight game over in Toronto. Definitely something to be keeping an eye on for the Kitchener Panthers fans out there.
Kitchener suddenly Brantford Red Sox fans on the night, as well as fans of their own team, obviously. Here as Toronto can lose, but Kitchener needs to do their part as well. Leader 0 for 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Topley on first. McNeil gets set. That one missing outside.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Andy Leader, OPS at about 1,000 against the Kitchener Panthers, and against right-handed pitching, those numbers don't necessarily translate. Just has an OPS of around 500 here.
And he will take for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Andy. Should be noted that game in Toronto, there's been a run. It's heading to the bottom of the 3rd. There's been a run scored in every half inning, as there is a swing and a miss.
Yeah, the Christie Pitts special, eh?
Yep.
Also worth noting, we started at the exact same time as them. They're in the top of the 3rd. We're in the bottom of the 5th.
It's crazy, right?
And some long games over at Christie Pitts.
Some long games. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Leader. The delivery. That one's flared high. Playable for Osawa in center field, and he drops it. Over to second base goes Topley.
Almost an excellent play there by Osawa. Did everything right. Sticks with the ball. Goes into the slide there. Trying to give himself as much time as possible to make that play. Just unable to squeeze it and hold on to it. But crisis averted for the Panthers, as there's still just runners on first and second.
So Leader will get on with the single. Topley moves over to second, and Ashton Patterson will come up. He's 0 for 1.
Ground ball to the shortstop last time out in the bottom of the 3rd.
That one missing on the outside. This might be a prime situation for Topley to try to steal here, wouldn't it?
Would
you imagine if the call was made?
I said earlier that he's a similar kind of hitter and player to Alejandro Kirk. Alejandro Kirk stole a base last night.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And sometimes you have those games where it just gets completely out of hand. I was at the game on Thursday, an absolute pitcher's duel against the Cubs.
That was the Scherzer-Boyd game?
That was the Scherzer-Boyd game. The 1-1, that one paints the outside edge for strike 2. Yeah, Vladdy with a 2-run home run to take a 2-1 lead, and Blue Jays end up coming up with the win.
Yeah, boy, he's having a crazy second half, isn't he? Oh, my God. Second half, Vladdy is not someone to mess with.
No. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one sent foul. If the inning continues after Patterson. It will be J.D. Williams up to bat. Although, could turn a double play. The 1-2, that one missing upstairs. Yes, there is just the one out, but what I mean is, of course, this inning could end if McNeil can force a double play here. Prime opportunity here if he can just try to generate a ground ball here from Patterson like the first inning. Or rather the third inning when Patterson was last up. And Patterson's just going to call for time here.
Yeah, after that game against Hamilton, Dino Ramel was sort of talking about Patterson and the impact that he has within this lineup. And he says, and I quote, "Patterson's a real spark plug. He sets the stage for the guys at the top of the order." So this is a guy very athletic, runs well, somebody that you want turning over the lineup.
Holds off, and 3 balls, 2 strikes here on Patterson. Excellent patience by the left fielder.
And you can even see it here. He's worked himself back from a 1-2 count to now a 3-2 count, putting himself in a situation to potentially get on base and turn things over to J.D. Williams.
McNeil set the 3-2, and that is strike 3. Patterson can't believe it. The fans here at Hastings can't believe it here, and Patterson has a couple of words for Jeff Rose.
Yeah, Patterson not happy with that call there. Throws the bat away as if he's about to head to first, and maybe for good reason as well. That pitch looked a little bit high and outside there, and that very much changes the landscape of this inning. Instead of bases loaded and 1 out, it's first and second with 2 outs for the leadoff hitter.
J.D. Williams, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out into foul ground. Takes one in, but it paints the edge for strike 1. As the fans, the Royals fans in attendance, starting to get on Jeff Rose a little bit. And Topley over at second, leader on first. High and away.
J.D. Williams batting .357 on the year with runners in scoring position. 28 at bats. He has a homer and 19 RBIs.
And it does drop to 286 when there's 2 down. And that one's going to go off of Junior Ibarra's mask. He's going to take just an extra moment here. Just a foul ball there from JD off the bat, off the mask, and it bounces away. And it's like Junior's all right. Payoff coming here from McNeil, looking to get out of the inning. The Royals threatening, though. Junior Ibarra setting up more outside. The 1-2, fouled back.
Williams getting to that pitch up in the zone, able to just barely make contact with it. But the thing is that you can see when you're fouling the ball straight back, it's likely that you've timed up the pitcher fairly nicely. So just missed the plane of where the ball was in the zone, but on time with the fastball here. I wouldn't be surprised if McNeil comes back with something off speed.
Here it comes, the 1-2, and trying to pull it up in the zone was Ibarra, but not getting the call there. It was under the knees.
A good take there by Williams, just below the knees. Spits on the off speed. Evens the count at 2-2.
McNeil gets set. Here comes the 2-2. Foul back again as Williams really battling in this at-bat.
And again, fouling the fastball straight back. He's on time with it, but he's just missing it. So he's put himself in a situation where the pitcher knows that if he comes back with the fastball, he's on it. And if he has to hit within the zone on the off speed. So if I'm Williams, I'm sitting on something off speed here.
Here it comes. Foul back yet again.
And I think Williams was sitting off speed there. McNeil came back with the fastball. Williams able to make the adjustment nicely, though, just fouls it off there a little later than he was on the previous couple swings, but staying alive in the 2-strike count in this critical situation.
Fans starting to stomp their feet here at Hastings, trying to give some life for the home side. The 2-2. That one missing at the knees. It's a full count here on JD.
Yeah, Williams has the pitcher's number here. He's doing a really good job understanding the sequencing. He's staying on those fastballs and fouling them off, and he's spinning on the off speed below the zone here, really making McNeil have to work and have to think about what he's going to do here.
The 3-2 missing inside, and JD Williams takes the walk to load the bases. Here comes Franklin Torres. One swing of the bat could tie this game, and here comes Pete Kiefer to have a word with his starter.
I'm very impressed by that at-bat from JD Williams. Gets to 8 pitches in the at-bat there, fouls off some tough ones, and just throughout that whole at-bat felt very in control. Like he almost knew what was coming and knew how to manage it. He had a very good idea of the sequencing from McNeil in that one.
There is a little bit of activity starting in the Panthers bullpen, as Jeff Rose will come out to pay a visit to the gathering on the bump. And again, I think this conversation all goes back to that first inning home run from Franklin Torres. Just reminding him, don't pitch here. Work him this way, work him that way. They do not want to give up a hard hit ball to Franklin Torres here.
Yeah, well, since that home run in the first, aside before the start of this inning, again, McNeil had retired 11 straight Guelph Royals. But Wilson with a home run and then a hard ground out early on in this one. He's seeing it well tonight. Definitely something for McNeil to be aware of.
Torres, the hard-hitting second baseman, is 1 for 2. That one missing down and away.
Yeah, throughout this inning, these Royals hitters are doing a really good job laying off the off speed from McNeil. They're forcing him to bring the heat inside the zone, and when they're doing that, they're sticking with the ball and timing it up very nicely.
The 1-0, swing and a miss, goes underneath the baseball. Ibarra trying the backdoor play over to third, but Topley is in there safely.
Yeah, Torres chased the ball above the strike zone there. And a nice comeback pitch from McNeil puts the fastball in a place where he can't reach it, but it just looks like a cookie to a hitter who's looking to drive it.
See where the location is this time. The 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Torres again, he's swinging underneath the baseball, as McNeil's just been feeding some heat in this at-bat.
Yeah, and I think it's a two-seamer from McNeil there. There's a little bit of horizontal movement on the ball that's making it a little bit tough for the batter, especially when it's up in the zone. It's almost like it's not where you expect traditional fastball to end up.
The 1-2, missing upstairs, 2-2.
Torres in battle mode right now. He's in a 2-strike count, needs to try and work things up to full. Again, need to keep the pressure on McNeil as we get later on in this game and the pitch count grows.
Pitch count now up to 86 for McNeil. Here comes the 2-2. Missing away again, 3-2.
That's 4 straight fastballs there from McNeil, up and in on the first 2 in the count, and then misses on the upper outer half there.
Now the runners will be off. McNeil getting into position. 3 balls, 2 strikes here on Franklin Torres. Fouls that one back. Off the facing of the grandstand, and a youngster makes a one-handed catch in foul ground. How about that?
Maybe the Royals need a new outfielder.
Apparently.
What a play.
Sign him up, Dino. Back to action. 3-2 inside, ball 4, and the Royals get a run. A bases loaded walk to Franklin Torres, and here comes Garrett Takamatsu.
Your third baseman, number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
A really, really nice job there by Franklin Torres, working the count for the walk after falling behind 1-2. Just spits on the fastballs out of the zone, able to foul off some tough pitches. Give Takamatsu an opportunity with the bases loaded.
He's 1 for 2 with a double. McNeil, pitch number 90. Swing, and he got a piece of it. Catches Ibarra there for a moment. Looks like he's all right. So again, leaders on third. Williams is on second, and Torres is on first for Guelph. They are down by 3, just like that. Their best inning of the game for sure, as they have started to get on Owen McNeil here in the 5th.
And I think it's McNeil's inning to finish. Not a lot of movement out in the Kitchener bullpen right now.
Yeah, I saw a little bit, maybe someone doing jumping jacks out there, maybe to just try to stay loose, but I didn't really see anybody throwing out there yet. The 0-1. That one into left center. 1 run comes in to score. They're waving him home, looking for 2. He's safe. And the Royals are down by just 1 on a 2-run double from Garrett Takamatsu.
What a job there by Takamatsu. He fouls off the first pitch and then turns on the fastball right there, able to bloop it into the outfield for the 2-run single, and just like that, it's a 1-run ball game. And there's still runners in scoring position, 2 runners in scoring position, because Takamatsu was able to advance to second on the throw to the plate.
And now with 2 runners in scoring position, the former Panther Liam Wilson will step into the box. A 5-1 lead for the Panthers coming into this half inning has now been cut down to just a run.
Yeah, well, and this inning is really showcasing the approach that Dino Ramel was talking about with just having those good at-bats, making the pitcher come into the zone.
That'll miss inside on Wilson as the fans are in full throat here at Hastings. By the way, for Panthers fans, it is now 9-7. Brantford with a lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs in the top of the 4th. Nobody out. Wilson swings and misses. Wilson is 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout. As McNeil has had a lengthy inning, 40 pitches. And Wilson's going to take some time here.
Yeah, 40 pitches in the inning. That's the exact kind of mark that you want here in the 5th. They're really making him work, trying to get into that Kitchener Panthers bullpen. This has been a very, very good showing from them. Lots of long, lengthy at-bats.
Swing and a miss from Wilson. He swings over top the baseball that time for strike 2. The fans here at Hastings, a whole lot of them, have been treated to a great baseball game here so far. Lots of energy. The 1-2. Holds off. Good watch there from Wilson. Evens the count at 2-2.
Now Wilson moving the hands up a little bit on the bat, trying to shorten things up in this 2-strike count. Again, just trying to work the pitcher here. Eventually he's bound to make a mistake late on in this outing, and you need to be there to capitalize on that.
McNeil gets set. Chopper down the line. Fuji gloves it over to first in time. But the Royals get 3 on the board. It's a 1-run game here at Hastings Stadium. We're heading to the 6th here on a Saturday night under the lights here on Royals TV. Welcome back, and there you see on the screen here, Brantford still with that 9-7 lead over Toronto in the top half of the fourth. That's been a wild one. There's been a run scored in every single half inning. To the sixth inning we go. Charlie Towers, the batter, as Kyle Thomas will face the bottom of the Panthers order here. And a new player into the game, taking over at third base for Garrett Takamatsu is Matthew Ward. So just a straight swap on defense. Don't know if it's just for rest reasons or maybe Takamatsu may have tweaked something running around in that last half inning. But nonetheless, Ward comes into the ball game here to take over at third base. Towers 0 for 2. An 0-2 counts. Flares that one into left field, and Patterson gets underneath it. He'll make the catch.
At third base for your Guelph Royals, number 10.
To Petey Kiefer we go, and I don't know about you, partner, but it feels like there's a bit of haze coming into the area here.
The shortstop, number 17.
Yeah, well, that's what they call it, Hastings.
Hastings Stadium. Yeah, it's not just me. I can see it on the screen as well.
Yeah, it's a little, I think the humidity's gone up a little bit. I think it's a little foggy. Doesn't smell like bad air quality, though.
No, I don't think these are the wildfires that are causing this. I think you're right, partner. I think it's just the weather and just a little bit of fog cover here at Hastings Stadium. The 1-0. Kiefer fouls that one back. Well, when you look at the Environment Canada weather forecast, the hourly forecast, there's a chance of thunderstorms tonight at 2 a.m. Clearly not going to see that unless this game goes for 5 extra hours, as Kiefer squares down to Bunton, frustrated with himself as he dropped the bunt down into foul ground. Yeah, the humidity reaching about 30 degrees right now, 25 degrees officially on the mercury counter. It's according to Environment Canada. There is 26 degrees according to our other thermostat. Again, different areas of Guelph measuring different temps. Happens. The 1-2. That one misses outside.
Yeah, well, very little, if not no breeze.
No. Yeah,
tonight.
the flags out in center field have not moved.
Now it's very still air, so that's a breeding ground for humidity.
Kiefer 0 for 2. Takes one inside. Puts the count full.
Kiefer with a ground out in the third inning and a fly out in the fourth.
I just noticed this. Toronto's 7 runs, 4 hits.
How many walks?
It's a good question. I'd have to check in just a moment. As that one's sent into right field, Petey Kiefer gets on with a 1-out single. Looks like 6 walks issued by the Brantford Red Sox.
Yeah,
Maybe a couple of hit batters in there as well.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. Lots of walks. Once you get a lot of traffic on the base, you only need a few hits to bring that traffic in. So, I guess Toronto having some good at bats tonight.
Should be noted as well, they just went into break. They're also streaming our game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and they've also just reunited that trio of Castaldo, Connect, and DeBanning in the middle of that order. So, as a pitcher, you got to decide who do I want to face out of those 3, because each one of them can hurt you in a different way.
Well, they'll either play Welland, London, or Barrie in the first round. Same with the Kitchener Panthers. The 1-0 to Lawson. In for strike number 1. Again, Guelph has clinched 6th place. They can't move no matter the results of tonight and anywhere else in the IBL for the rest of the weekend. They will play whomever loses in between London and Barrie tomorrow. The 1-1 is going to hit Lawson on the back. And a old hit by pitch will put Lawson on. Runners on first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, no intent there by Kyle Thomas. He just got the off speed and didn't get the spin on the curveball. Didn't come back over the plate like he wanted it to. So just a tough release point there. Another thing worth noting with Thomas, he needs another inning and a third in tonight's game in order to qualify for the playoffs. And he's sitting at a pitch count of 70.
So right there, that's 4 outs he needs.
4 outs, yes.
Here's Matteo Zeppieri, the leadoff man. That one paints the outside edge for a strike. Zeppieri 1 for 3. But you can get 2 here and then maybe 2 in the next inning. Maybe finish off the 7th inning if he's going. The 0-1, that one missing. Again, more activity happening in the Royals bullpen. I don't know if that's Brandon Deans up again, but
it's 91. That's Brandon Deans.
that is Brandon Deans. Thomas gets set. Runner on first and second. Skied high by Zeppieri. Torres calling for it. Torres makes the catch.
A big out number 2 there for Kyle Thomas. Now just needs 3 more outs to qualify for the postseason. And he'll face Penalve with 2 outs.
And Penalve has reached base all 3 times he's been at the plate. Credited with a pair of singles, albeit that base running gaff in the first ended up putting him out before he even had a chance to threaten on the bases tonight. Hit that single, but was stranded in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, and was forced out at 3rd.
Penalve with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, 7 RBIs.
Skied high. J.D. Williams calling for it in center field. He will make the catch. And the Royals will head to the home half of the 6th. Just down by 1. And just like that, again, Kyle Thomas, a little bit of figuring out to do with 1 down facing the bottom of the order. But, again, as you said, just 2 outs away from qualifying for the postseason.
Yeah, well, in those last 2 outs, he did a really, really nice job. He still allowed the contact, but he did a good job of missing the barrel. These guys didn't barrel it up. They didn't make great contact against it. 2 straight fly balls to get him out of the inning. And yeah, like you said, 2 more outs to qualify for the playoffs. And the Royals now coming up just down 1. It's going to be crucial for them to add on to what they did in the last inning, and then Thomas to come back out and continue to shut things down against this Kitchener Panthers lineup.
Looks like they're going to go with Brett Reed, number 51, coming in for Owen McNeil. Brett Reed, one of the bigger options for the Panthers. Usually one of the first out of the pen whenever he is called upon. Has had a pretty good second half of the season. But he takes over for Owen McNeil, who's pitch count ended up getting elevated in that last inning. And the Panthers looking to give the Royals offense a bit of a different look here.
Yeah, Brett Reed. The overlying season stats aren't great. A 9.17 ERA in 13 games and 17 2/3 innings pitched, but in his last 5 outings has not allowed an earned run. So getting hot, like you said, getting hot at the right time, having a good second half to his season. So it's going to be a tough test for this Guelph Royals offense.
It'll be Connor Morrow, Damon Topley, and Kaner Pena due up for the Royals. And again, after the Panthers scored 4 runs in the top half of the 5th, the Royals end up coming back with 3 of their own runs. So, a bit of a battle here at Hastings Stadium as the Highway 7 rivals do battle here on a Saturday night to close out the season, at least for the Royals. Again, the Panthers have a home date with the Welland Jackfish tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m.
Connor Morrow coming up to the plate, like you said, Damon Topley behind him. So one can only hope that Connor Morrow can get on base, potentially into scoring position, give Damon Topley that chance for his 500th career RBI and what could end up being his last at-bat of the night.
So there you see the stats on Brett Reed. 14th appearance of the year, that 9.17 ERA. Again, most of that damage happening in the first half of the year as Morrow gets out of the way there, just barely missing getting hit on the shoulder blade.
Yeah, well, and Reed, that brings to mind a little bit of his control issues that he's had so far. He's walked 18 batters in just 13 games this season, struck out just 13 as well. So he's got great stuff. The question is whether or not he's going to be able to control it in this game.
The 1-0, that one missing, down and away.
And Morrow is 0 for 2 on the night, quickly ahead in a 2-ball count.
Just want to point out, we're into the bottom half of the 6th. It's bottom 4 in Toronto. The 2-0, missing inside, 3-0. Good look there from Connor, who is 0 for 2 on the night.
Yeah, well, when I'm not in Guelph with you guys, I'm in Toronto working those games, so I can tell you firsthand that those games, they can go long.
The 3-0 inside, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning for Connor Morrow, and here comes Damon Topley.
Well, a good at bat there by Connor Morrow just lets, he takes the first pitch close to his head, and clearly you can just see that Reed was not comfortable, not settled in after that pitch. So takes the walk, and now Topley gets his first opportunity tonight with a runner on base, still looking for that lucrative 500th career RBI.
I'd be curious if they start Morrow here to try to get him to steal a base, to get him in scoring position. That'll go across for strike 1. Morrow, by the way, is 2 for 4 on stolen bags this year. And I know Dino really wants Damon to hit that milestone.
Morrow just behind the lip of the grass. Not a very, he's going.
That one gets through the hole. Base hit. Over to third base comes Morrow. He'll put the stop sign on. And another hit for Damon Topley. He's 2 for 3.
Yeah, textbook hit and run there. You got a batter like Topley who handles it really well. It makes really good contact, great back to ball skills. Morrow, someone who runs pretty well. And just textbook play right there. All of a sudden you got runners on the corners, no outs for Kitchener Panthers, who's having a very solid season.
The tying run 90 feet away for the Royals. Kitchener Panthers. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but as you mentioned, partner, has had a great season since coming over at the transaction deadline. Morrow on third, Topley on first. The fans getting excited here at Hastings as that one's put foul. Also, by the way, 9-9 at Christie Pitts now.
Wow, back and forth, eh?
Back and forth.
For those curious, Kitchener Panthers batting just 125 with runners in scoring position in 8 at-bats so far this season.
Let's go Royals chants erupting here at Hastings. The 0-1. That one missing, down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Pena. We are just 2 hours into this ball game. It has been a dandy here on a Saturday night as that one goes into the dirt.
Pena yet to register a hit on the night. Struck out back in the second, then a fly out to the right fielder in the 5th. Looking for better fortunes in this at-bat.
The 2-1 missing outside, 3-1. Pena with another good look at that baseball as it misses the plate.
And Brett Reed struggling with his control early on into his outing. That was his 5th ball of the night. He's thrown just 2 strikes.
Here comes the 3-1. That one's laced into left field. Zeppieri will get underneath it to make the grab. Throw back into the infield, and 1 run will come in to score. We are tied at 5. The Royals get 1.
A textbook sac fly there by Kaner Pena. You know, still hasn't registered a hit on the night. That's exactly what you need in that situation. Muscles it out to the left fielder, and easily the run comes in to score here. And it is a tie game with the man who I told you all to keep an eye on, Andy Leader, at the plate.
Well, and again, on that throw back to Zeppieri for a moment, not even testing the runner at home, not even thinking about it, just keep Topley over at first. That was his focus, as that strike one on the inside edge on Leader.
Leader back in the 5th, singled and then came around to score.
Delivery, swing and a miss for strike 2.
Scored on the Takamatsu RBI double.
Yeah, I believe 2 runs may have come in to score on that one.
Yeah, it was
It was a big, big hit from Tack.
it was Leader and Patterson who came in to score.
That's right, the 0-2 chopper, and that's going to get through the hole. Base hit for Leader.
It's the 2nd hit of the night for Andy Leader. Both singles, ground ball singles through the infield, and the Royals are in business with the spark plug, Ashton Patterson, coming to the plate.
Ashton has had a rough time at the plate tonight. Again, he went down looking on the strike 3 call that he didn't agree with in the 5th. But looking to channel some energy with just 1 away here for the Royals in a 5-5 tie with the Kitchener Panthers.
I wonder if Patterson could end up bunting here.
That's a possibility. You can see Fuji on the edge of the grass. That one's taken in for ball 1. I think Fuji has the same mindset you do, partner.
I'll take a couple of steps back now, but still just level with the lip of the grass. First baseman playing back.
Brett Reed gets set. Here comes the 1-0. That one in for a strike. And Reed knows he's got to be extra careful here with the Royals threatening yet again in the 6th.
Yeah, Leader taking that pitch just at the top of the strike zone, but I do like the call from him there. This is Reed's someone who struggled with control so far in this outing.
And that one missing inside. Reed looking for a similar location there, but got a different result that time.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, where in these last 2 innings, the Royals have had a lot of success because they're getting ahead in counts. They're in control. The pitcher has to come to them. They're not swinging at anything bad.
The 2-1. That one missing high and away.
If you're Brett Reed, the last thing that you want to do is walk the number 9 hitter to load the bases. So Patterson should be ready for something over the heart of the plate that he can handle.
3 balls, 1 strike here on Patterson. Reed, the delivery. Upstairs for ball 4, and that'll load the bases for J.D. Williams.
Now, in last at bat, Patterson very frustrated with the call that ended up being a strikeout. Struck out in a 3-2 count there. Better fortunes this time around on a pitch in a fairly similar location.
And you can see from that approach as well, just putting that last at-bat in behind him. And, you know, really seeing the baseball very well in that, too, and recognizing, you know, what's 50-50, what isn't. And really just patient at the plate, not feeling extra aggressive because he doesn't agree with the strike zone. Williams takes one downstairs for ball 1. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Came around to score back in the 5th.
Yep, part of that RBI double. 2-run double from Takamatsu. As that one's flared high and foul.
And Williams flew out in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, then walked and came around to score on that Takamatsu double. Still looking for his first hit on the night, but feels like he's been in the mix throughout for this Royals offense.
Again, Leader is on, well, Topley's on third, Leader's on second, Patterson is on first. Williams just looking for a hole. Here it comes. That one missing.
Leader and Patterson both run fairly well. If something gets down in the outfield, Leader very well could come around to score. Patterson advancing to third. Williams just looking for outfield grass here. Put the Royals ahead for the first time since the first inning. It's just a third, my mistake.
The 2-1. That one right across for a strike, just at the knees.
Yeah, that one just nicks the lower outside corner of the strike zone. William shaking his head, didn't like the call, but can't argue with the ump.
Try again here. Comes the 2-2. That one missing. Ball 3 here on Williams.
Yeah, Reed, again, holding on to the off speed just a little bit too long. Pulls that one. Ends up throwing a non-competitive pitch in a 2-2 count. Now the pressure's on the pitcher here with the bases loaded and the count full.
The 3-2 missing outside. Ball 4, and the Royals have the lead.
And all of the sudden, all three of the Royals outfielders are on base at the same time, and all three of these players run very, very well. So very critical situation here.
Oh, here comes Pete Kiefer. As I think this might be it for Brett Reed. We'll have to see. I didn't really see much movement. Yep, one pitcher is going to be coming in from the bullpen, and that is it for Brett Reed. We're going to have a new pitcher into the ballgame after this. Bases loaded for the Royals, just the one out, and they have the lead right back here in this battle against Kitchener. Welcome back inside Hastings Stadium on Royals TV. Out comes Brett Reed. In for the Kitchener Panthers comes Dakota Parsons.
Yeah, Parsons is going to inherit a bases-loaded one-out situation. Taking a look at his numbers on the season. In 11 games and 14 innings pitched, he got a 7.07 ERA, 16 strikeouts to 10 walks. Last time he pitched against Guelph on July 1st, pitched an inning, allowed 1 run, and struck out 2 while facing 4 batters.
Now, a week in between appearances here for Parsons, and we'll see what he can do here with the bases loaded. And Franklin Torres, the batter, right across Broadway for strike 1.
Torres hit that home run in the first, then walked and got all the way around to third base in the 5th, and as a part of that 5th inning rally. Gets a bases loaded opportunity here.
Parsons taking his time there on the hill. Third pitcher in the game here for Kitchener. That one missing on the outside for ball number 1. And the thing with Kitchener here, and we've seen it all season down at Jack Couch and elsewhere, this is a team that has struggled with the lead all season long. There's been a number of situations where they've been up by 3, up by 4, and they squander those leads left and right. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. This is another one of those situations where Kitchener had the 5-1 lead, but Guelph has found a way to get back into it.
5 unanswered runs for the Royals since the top of the 5th.
You said it, the outfielders on the base path, says that one's flared foul by Torres.
Yeah, Torres has yet to register an at-bat with the bases loaded this season, but with runners in scoring position, he's 2 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBIs.
Leader on third, Patterson on second, Williams on first. 0-2. Chopper into left field. 1 run comes in to score. Chugging around is Patterson. He comes in. And the Royals add to their lead. It's 8-5.
Yeah, well, and there on that play again just showcases the athletic ability of Leader and Patterson. Both players run super well. Patterson, my mistake, able to make it all the way around to score from second on that chopped base hit there. And the Royals with an 8-5 lead, and Matthew Ward getting his first at bat of the night.
Ward coming in for Garrett Takamatsu. He came in on defense in the last inning, and he will have a chance to do more damage here for the Royals. Last 2 innings for the Royals have been outstanding. As that one's flared into right field. It's going to drop. Foul! No, it's foul.
Tough break there for Ward. Got so much of that baseball just slightly late on the swing there, but seeing it well in his first at-bat of this one.
That one, it went over the fence. It just didn't have the accuracy. So Ward will try again. Just the 1 out and a runner on third. A sac fly would drive in Williams more than likely. That one upstairs. 1-1. And you like the options that Dina Ramel has here at third base. Again, you're able to bring in a Matthew Ward who started the year as a catcher, but was able to move seamlessly over into an infield position, take over as a DH on some nights as well.
Yeah, well, and that acquisition of Pena helped Ward get off of his knees earlier in the season, preserving that player.
Drops the bunt, and that'll go foul.
Williams running down the line for the safety squeeze there.
He was already at home.
Yeah, almost there. To no avail as Ward unable to keep that ball fair.
Again, I believe it's just Torres that is the responsibility of Parsons here. Williams is technically still the responsibility of Brett Reed, who was pulled from this game. The runner's going to go, Chopper, and that's going to be gloved there by Kiefer. Throw, no throw, and the runners are safe. And another run comes in to score to make it 9-5 Royals.
Williams coming in to score on the play. Torres advancing to second. And Wilson with the infield single to put the Royals ahead by 4.
Your first baseman, number 45.
And now here comes Liam Wilson, who is 0 for 3. You know he would like to do some damage here. 9th batter of the inning for the Royals. Torres on second, Ward on first. The Royals have scored 4 in this inning, or rather 5, and that one's going to get right to Kiefer. Force out at second, and that's going to be overthrown, rather, out of play. Advancing to second is Wilson, and another run comes in to score to make it 10-5. An airmail from Petey Kiefer. Sorry, that was Charlie Towers, as they tried to get the double play.
Your shortstop,
But a run comes in to score instead.
Connor Morrow is going to come to the plate now, and he is the man who started this whole rally back earlier in this inning. He's getting the second at bat of the inning. Walked and then came around to score after the hit and run from Damon Topley. He'll get a chance with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs.
That one into the dirt. Throw. Looked like Ibarra was thinking about throwing over to second base, but there was nobody there. And that one just inside. Wilson, or rather Morrow, gets out of the way there.
I had a question for you, partner.
All right.
When we get to this point in the inning, on my score sheet, where do I put Morrow's at bat?
See, here's what you do. You just scratch out the 7, and you just put a 6.
Oh, true.
See, so for those that aren't aware, so I have the old Bobby Carpenter scorebook here in the broadcast booth. Shout out to the Washington Nationals play-by-play man, as that'll go across for a strike, just picking the bottom corner. 200 pages, goes for about 15 innings that I can fit in per game, so I'm able to handle games like this.
Yeah, and I've got the standard rolling scorebook, so I might have to invest in one of those.
The delivery, and that is going to miss. Looked like it hit him there for a moment. As I just try to get caught up here. It's been a long one here for the Royals. That one is going to be squibbed through the hole. Base hit. And staying there at third is Liam Wilson. And look who's up to bat with a man on third base. It's Damon Topley, who's 2 for 3.
And as we've mentioned so many times tonight, searching for that lucrative 500th career RBI, his first opportunity tonight with runners in scoring position.
A milestone on the line here for Tops. Started his career in Stratford in 1995. As that'll paint the outside edge for strike 1. A pair of singles for Tops. He has been on base for quite a few times here tonight. He's walked in safely, I believe, as that one's going to be laced over to Towers. Throw to second in time, and he'll have to wait yet again. But it is a 10-5 Royals lead as we head to the 7th here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. You're watching Royals TV. We'll be back after this.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
getting set for the 7th inning here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. There you see the other game happening right now, 9-9 at Christie Pitts. The Maple Leafs threatening in the bottom of the 5th. That has been a back-and-forth battle. It's been a back-and-forth battle here as well. Kitchener had a 5-1 lead, and Guelph, well, they have answered, to say the very least, as that one goes inside for ball 1 here on Yosuke Fuji. 9 unanswered runs for the Guelph Royals, including 6 in that last inning. That one laced over to Torres. Over to first in time. Out number 1. So again, let's talk about the implications of tonight's game, where you have Kitchener and Toronto in that battle for 7th place. Kitchener can clinch tonight if they come back to win this one and have Toronto lose to Brantford. If Kitchener loses and Toronto ends up winning, Kitchener does clinch 8th place. They won't be able to catch the Maple Leafs. If both teams win tonight, Kitchener will need to beat Welland tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. in order to get 7th place, as Junior Ibarra just waits on that first pitch for ball 1.
Yeah, a little weather update. The fog at Hastings has cleared a little bit. Things clearing up, humidity going away. It's cooling down a little bit.
I think they heard me in Weatherland, as that one goes down the line, foul. That's right, I have that kind of power.
Well, it is the IBL announcer's curse after all.
Exactly. Well, it'll be interesting to see how the weather factors into tomorrow's game. Because again, there is a thunderstorm watch that you're kind of keeping an eye on. It is a low risk. That one's lasered down the left field side, and that is a fair ball, and it's gone. Junior Ibarra with a solo jack to make it 10-6.
Yeah, just destroyed that ball, no doubt about it. If it was going to have the distance, just a question of whether or not it was going to stay fair. That ball cleared the fence by a solid 40 feet. I wish we had that StatCast home run distance thing they have in the big leagues here.
Yeah.
Because that was a spectacle.
I think that one just goes onto the street in behind the ballpark here. And here comes A.J. Carosis, who has a home run of his own tonight. So it's down to a 4-run differential. Carosis is 2 for 3 overall. Kyle Thomas just needing one more out to qualify.
Carosis homered back in the 5th.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
2 for 3 on the night, fly out in the 2nd, single in the 4th, and then, like I said, homered in the 5th. Brought in Yosuke Fuji and Junior Ibarra on that one.
Part of a big 5th inning where Kitchener seemingly started to gain control of this game. And then the Royals just said, we're just going to take it from here. 2 big innings to put a 10 spot on the board. The 2-1 to Carosis. That one's flared high and deep. It's got some distance, and on the run is J.D. Williams.
Great play there by J.D. Williams. Like on that first play of the game,
and that's going to do it. There comes Dino. Sorry to cut you off there, partner.
Yeah, like I mentioned on that first play with Andy Leader earlier in the game, what you want to do when you're tracking down a ball like that is turn the shoulder and look over your head. Williams does just that, goes into the slide to give himself a little extra time on that one. Makes a nice catch.
And the hugs all around from Dino Ramel to Kyle Thomas. Thomas officially has qualified for the postseason. He's got 10 innings under his belt this year. A new pitcher will come into the ball game. We're in the top of the 7th. Guelph leading 10-6 here on Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. Mark Pare, Noam Streifer here with you. Well, out of the ball game comes Kyle Thomas. Brandon Deans comes into the ball game here for the Guelph Royals. A little bit of an easier breathing Guelph Royals now that their final two pitchers that they needed to qualify for the postseason have qualified for the postseason.
Yeah, and taking a look at the numbers for Brandon Deans, he's thrown 35 2/3 innings so far this year, 5.29 ERA, in 12 games, 4 starts on the season. Also has collected 2 saves, actually. And last time out against Welland, 4 innings, 1 run on 5 hits, striking out 3 and facing 16 Jackfish.
Yeah, that was a 3-0 loss here on a Tuesday night where Guelph could only muster 3 hits. Didn't really give much support, as that's going to be put into right field by Osawa, and catching it there is Andy Leader. So a quick one there for Brandon Deans as we head into stretch time here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. The Guelph Royals 10, the Kitchener Panthers 6 here on Royals TV. And you know what? Let's put on the other game as well, just to kind of keep an eye on it. Well, they're rolling advertisements right now, as they are also taking a break. Who knew you can actually take breaks? But they're getting ready to start off I believe it's the 6th inning that they have upcoming here. Brantford trailing 11-9 to the Maple Leafs there. So again, as we alluded to, Toronto with a win combined with a Kitchener loss tonight. So if these two scores hold, it will be Toronto in 7th, Kitchener in 8th. Kitchener would face Welland. Guelph stays in 6th. So it really comes down to that game against Barrie in London tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock in Barrie. So Chatham, Kent, and Hamilton are already locked up for that 4 versus 5 matchup in the first round. Welland in first. They'll play the 8th seed, whomever that may be. London and Barrie, the winner of tomorrow's game will decide 2nd place. The loser of that London-Barrie game will play against Guelph in the first round of the postseason.
Yeah.
Dakota Parsons looks like he's still out there for the Kitchener Panthers.
Yeah, Parsons coming out for his 2nd inning of work. Got 2 outs last time out. Hoping for better fortunes here.
Well, the Panthers will face the bottom of the order, Kaner Pena, Andy Leader, and Ashton Patterson. The fact that that's a bottom of the order,
Yeah.
that just goes to show the work by Adam Fanjoy and Ryan Eakin, especially at the deadline, just bringing in a lot of bats and obviously being able to supplement it with some quality pitching as well, being able to bring in a Claudio Custodio. And Antonio Frias has struggled since coming over to the Guelph Royals organization. But again, when you're able to insulate that with the quality pitching that they have already, I mean, that's depth that the Royals have. And again, 2 more arms that they needed for the postseason tonight are able to qualify in Andrew Case and Kyle Thomas. As that'll miss for ball 1.
Pena 0 for 2 on the night, sac fly last inning. Part of that big 6-run bottom of the 6th for the Guelph Royals.
That was a huge inning, 6 runs, 11 batters coming up to the dish for Guelph. And again, Kitchener might be scoreboard watching tonight from the dugout. I think they're more focused on just trying to come back into this game. They know that no matter what happens in Toronto's game, they need wins in order to get into 7th place. As a 4-pitch walk is issued to Kaner Pena.
Yeah, well, and if you're Kitchener, down 4 right now, you really want to be in control of your own destiny. With a loss tonight, that puts them in a situation where they are scoreboard watching for the Leafs, and it puts them in a situation where they have to win against the first-place Jackfish tomorrow. So, obviously, as a Royals broadcaster, I'm hoping for things to stay how they are, but Kitchener Panthers looking really looking for that comeback here.
That'll paint the outside edge for strike one. And again, yeah, if Toronto wins and Kitchener loses tonight, that's it. Both teams win, then you still do have to win that game tomorrow. But if the results that are holding right now end up switching around, and especially in Christie Pitts tonight, the way it has been going, that might switch around in a hurry. Who knows? Lot to be decided. The 0-2. Flared foul into the trees.
Leader singled in the 5th and 6th innings, coming around to score both times. He flew out back in the 2nd, making him 2 for 3 on the night.
Holds off. Good hold there from Leader.
He's choking up on the bat a little bit now with 2 strikes. Again, just trying to make contact here, keep the line moving. That's what the bottom of the order has done so well tonight for the Guelph Royals.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Parsons gets Leader. I really like that pitch location from Dakota Parsons there.
Yeah, it goes up and in with the fastball there. Just Leader unable to catch up with it after a couple of off speeds.
Here comes Ashton Patterson. He walked his last time up. Taking the lead is Pena. Allen missing downstairs. And that'll get away from Junior Ibarra, and the runner will advance.
That's Pena moving up to 2nd there after taking the walk. All of a sudden, Patterson with an opportunity and a runner on scoring position.
It's 11-11.
Oh my God. Holy runs, dude.
Bradford with the bases loaded. A 2-run, well, 2 runs coming to score on a play from former Panther Lucas Lefebvre.
Yeah, that's just the Christie Pitts special right there. That's the reason why they had to install that Salazzo wall. Imagine the runs that would have been scored tonight without that.
Oh, my goodness. 2 balls, 1 strike here at Hastings here on Ashton Patterson. Holds off, but it goes in there anyway for strike 2.
Patterson walked and scored in the 6th inning. I think everyone honestly scored in the 6th inning, it seems like. But ground ball in the 3rd and strikeout in the 5th.
That one's going to go into foul ground and over to make the catch. Did he? Yes, he did. Yosuke Fuji stays in play. Are they going? Yeah, they're going to allow the runner to advance as he caught the ball and then came out of bounds. Again, there's no fence there on the side. So it looks like Yosuke, they're going to call it as this. Yosuke Fuji made the catch. So that retires Ashton Patterson. But after making the catch, he ends up falling out of bounds.
Yeah,
so the catch stands, but that allows the runner Pena to advance to 3rd because he went out of bounds.
Yeah, he slid over the chalk line over there next to the Royals dugout after making the catch. Had a couple of young fans over there had to jump out of the way, but what a sliding grab there.
Yosuke Fuji ranging over there. The 1-0 to Williams. That one stays in front of Ibarra. Panthers, no matter what happens here tonight, hoping for a Toronto loss. The 2-0, and that on the outside edge for a strike. Fans not completely in agreement with Jeff Rose there. We're in the bottom of the 7th here at Hastings. The 2-1, swing and a miss for strike 2. JD swung over top the baseball.
Yeah, Williams just getting a little bit excited on that pitch. Clearly above the zone, but just takes a big hack at it.
The 2-2 into the dirt, catching Ibarra for a moment there. He keeps it in front of him.
Williams scored 2 runs on the night, but both of those runs coming after a walk. Has still yet to register a hit in this ball game. In his 4 plate appearances, only 2 at bats registered.
They'll start Pena. The 3-2 swing, and he got a piece of it. 10-6 ball game here for the Guelph Royals. They were down by 4. It was 5-1 after the top of the 5th. That one missing outside for ball 4, and the runners are on the corners with 2 away here for Franklin Torres.
3rd walk of the night for J.D. Williams. He's been seeing it super well over the last 3 innings. His 3rd walk in 3 innings, in fact.
So Franklin Torres will come up to the plate, a single and a home run in this game.
He's singled and scored. He's walked, and then he had that home run back in the 1st and a ground out in the 3rd inning. Very productive night for Franklin Torres.
That one missing downstairs for ball 1.
Interesting little move there by Ibarra. Almost had to moved his legs out of the way of that one to favor the glove to try and block that ball. Worked in his favor, but not very typical.
The 1-0, swing and a miss. Ibarra's one of those, he's known as a defensive catcher, very unorthodox, but at the same time very traditional too. Very, very much gets the job done behind there. The 1-1. That'll go across for a strike. That one right at belt level. Dakota Parsons a strike away, looking to get out of the inning. Ibarra setting up outside. And that is strike 3. As Dakota Parsons paints the outside edge to retire Torres, and we're heading to the 8th here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. It is the Guelph Royals 10, the Kitchener Panthers 6 here on Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV here in Guelph. It is a 10-6 lead as the Panthers will send Charlie Towers, Petey Kiefer, and Trent Lawson to the plate. Again, Kitchener hoping for a Toronto loss. They're now trailing 13-11 to Brantford in the top of the sixth. Again, a game that started the exact same time as us here in Guelph, 2 innings behind us. But again, the Kitchener Panthers, they know even if Toronto loses, they need to win either tonight or tomorrow. The 0-1, swing and a miss for strike 2. And I know Kitchener, I was talking with them before this game. They want to win tonight so they can breathe a little bit easier tomorrow. There's a swing, a foul tipped into the glove for strike 3, and Towers is now 0 for 4.
And Dean's 2 batters faced and 2 fairly quick outs. He's thrown just 6 pitches, I believe, 6 or 7. I don't know, I don't have the number in front of me.
I don't have it in front of myself either. Looks like 6 pitches, yes, indeed.
Yes.
There's pitch number 7 to Petey Kiefer. Yeah, they never taught me. They never said I was good at math, but that one's gonna miss way upstairs. But said I was an English major. That's why I decided to go into journalism instead. That one will go right into the bottom corner on Kiefer. He's 1 for 3.
Yeah, well, and you know what? You mentioning that, being good at math, it's making me think about the teachers who told me I wouldn't have a calculator in my pocket.
Signpost tan? What's that? That's going to be fouled back.
And now I got a phone that can just do all that math for me.
Exactly.
So I'd so much rather be writing and talking about baseball here.
The parallelograms. An acute triangle.
Pythagorean theorem.
Ooh. The 1-2. Fouled back. I mean, statistics, they hit it right on the noggin for me, at least. I mean, it's all we deal with here in baseball is statistics.
Yeah, it's true. My favorite math course ever was data management.
Yep.
And that I couldn't do it outside of a baseball context, but you put the numbers in a baseball context, and that was my favorite thing in the world.
A little accounting course back in high school too. The 1-2 is going to be flared foul. Ironically, in an accounting course, as part of it, they actually did a typing competition with us. Not for numbers, but just see who can type the most words per minute.
How does that factor in?
I don't know. The 1-2. That one right up, and that's going to hit Deans on the leg. And getting in safely is Kiefer.
Yeah, thankfully there on that one, Dean's just got the ball off the bottom of his cleat, so not really any injury concern there. Takes one off the foot, but the hard part, so he should be good.
Well, that'll be a single all day for Petey Kiefer, who's got 2 hits tonight. And here comes Trent Lawson, who has been on base every single time he's been at the dish tonight. A triple, a double, and he was hit by a pitch back in the 6th. A single and a double away from the cycle.
Single and a homer.
That's right, single and a homer. That's a strike. See, statistics weren't always my forte.
Well, and honestly, a home run would really change the landscape of this ball game.
Yes, it would, and it's not impossible. We've seen, I believe, 3 home runs tonight. Here comes the 0-1 to Lawson. Laced foul. Yeah, you had the Carosis home run, the Ibarra home run, and of course Franklin Torres hit a home run back in the 1st.
Yeah, well, and lots of extra base hits too. Of course, that Takamatsu 3-run double back earlier in this one.
That'll go across for strike 3, and going down is Trent Lawson.
Second strikeout of the night for Brandon Deans. Through 4 batters faced, has 3 outs, 2 strikeouts, and one walk. Or 1 single, my mistake.
Matteo Zeppieri now the batter. He's 1 for 4. A 4-run Royals lead.
fans here at Hastings trying to get into the head of the batters a little bit, telling them it's already over.
Chopper is going to get through. Grab there. It's going to be a high hopper, a base hit for Matteo Zeppieri.
But of course, you got to play till the final pitch, and Zeppieri showing that right there with a chopped lucky single down the third base line.
And that'll set things up for the heart of the order for Yasvani Penalve. They could make it close if they continue to hit, as they're starting to get to Deans a little bit here in the 8th, although Deans has a pair of strikeouts this inning.
Yeah, Penalve, 3 for 4 on the night, flew out back in the 6th, but other than that, sorry, my mistake, 2 for 3 on the night with a walk. Had that weird hit back in the 1st, single in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, and then flew out in the 6th.
Chopper goes in on the hands, grabbed there by Ward. Over to first in time, and that'll retire the side. The Royals remain with a 10-6 lead as we head to the home half of the 8th.
A couple of really nice scoops on that last play there. A nice one by Matthew Ward, picking it up on the Hastings hop, and then flips it over to Wilson at first on a little hop there. Wilson able to dig it out of the dirt, helping out his infielder, and a much-needed ground out for Brandon Deans.
Go ahead.
As the Royals maintain their 4-run lead. That's all I was going to say.
All right. Well, Ward, Wilson, and Morrow are due up here for the Royals in the home half of the 8th inning. And, from what I'm understanding, it looks like the first playoff game here at Hastings Stadium is going to be for Saturday, as a new pitcher is going to come into the ball game here for Kitchener. Again, the full playoff schedules will be set once all the matchups are set in stone, and those schedules will be put out on the respective social media channels of teams across the league. But it looks like it'll be game 2 of whatever series Guelph ends up playing in the first round, be it London or Barrie. That'll be on the Saturday. I would imagine that if it's London, you're probably going to see Friday, Saturday, and maybe Sunday as well, or maybe it stretches out until Tuesday. No, you know what? That's probably what would happen. If it's London, you're probably going to see Friday here in Guelph on Saturday. London typically plays on Sunday afternoon, so you might have that quick turnaround. And then game 4, if necessary, would be here in Guelph on the Tuesday nights. Barrie's kind of in a similar spot, too. They play a lot of games on Thursdays as well, so you'd probably see them on the Thursday night. Maybe they stretch it to a Friday, who knows, but maybe they do the Thursday. They have the day off on the Friday, come here on the Saturday, and then a game on Sunday back in Barrie, if that ends up being the matchup. How about that? A rematch of last year's IBL final in the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, that would really be something. I think that's also the kind of thing that would light a fire underneath these Guelph Royals. Like, you enter that series, you want to win. They will put together some good at-bats against the Barrie Baycats. They'll play that team hard.
New pitcher coming into the ball game for the Kitchener Panthers, the lefty, Cade Kozak. Will continue on where Dakota Parsons left off. As there you see his splits, 10 games he has gotten into this season.
Yeah. On the year, a 15 flat ERA in 10 games, 12 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts to 26 walks. It's a question of whether or not he's going to be able to command his pitches here. If he's going to surrender a lot of walks, that's not a recipe for a lot of success.
So Matthew Ward will step in here to start off the inning for the Guelph Royals, again with a 4-run lead. Kozak deals outside for ball 1.
Last time out for Kozak came on July 27th against the Guelph Royals in that 19-7 win. He allowed 3 runs and 3 walks over the course of and only recorded 1 out.
Almost goes off the facing of the grandstand. Yeah, that was that game in in Kitchener on July 27th, where it was a game that seemed like very similar to this one here, where it seemed like it was in Kitchener's favor, and then Guelph just turns on the Jets.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that this Guelph Royals team has done a good job of. Is they play hard. They are willing. They are not out of the game until the last out of the night. They will continue to put together good at bats. They'll continue to play gritty, tough baseball, and it's serving them well. And it's served them well against the Panthers all season long.
Matthew Ward, a pair of doubles and a single in this ball game. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Pardon me, he came on in the 6th, so he's 1 for 1. Garrett Takamatsu with a pair of doubles in this one. He was 2 for 3. Ward is 1 for 1.
Got all the way up to second on that single, but was unable to come around to score.
The 2-2. Inside, 3-2. Fans start to clap here at Hastings. Try to get under perhaps the skin of Kozak. Just trying to give some energy to Ward, and he will take the walk.
Nice at bat there by Ward to work the walk here to lead off the inning. Guelph in the need of a couple insurance runs here.
Here comes Liam Wilson.
Liam Wilson.
Wilson 0 for 4, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 6th. This also sets things up pretty well. Damon Topley could still get one more at bat in this game.
Yeah.
That one's going to miss high and away for ball 1. Ward over on first, nobody out here in the 8th. Flared foul.
Wilson 0 for 4 on the night, walked back in the 6th.
I believe that might have been a fielder's choice, actually.
You're right, that was a fielder's choice.
One ball, 1 strike here on Liam. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And again, suddenly you have a lefty on the mound, so it kind of changes up the strategy here for the Royals, just in terms of, how much success do you have against righties? How much success do you have against lefties? The 1-2, that one skied high and deep. Is it going to stay in the ballpark? And it's waiting for the call. That's an out. Right at the fence is Matteo Zeppieri. He pulls one underneath, and that's going to be thrown in out of bounds. Matthew Ward will advance to second base.
Well, just
so. Or wait a minute. They're allowing Ward to advance to third. So that's the call. So again, the catch is made by Zeppieri. So usually in this ballpark here, we kind of just wait for the umpires to make the official calls just because it's so deep out in the outfield. A play like that could be either a home run or a catch. The signal was out by the third base umpire. The throw back into the infield got away from the first baseman, Carosis. It went out of bounds, and that allowed Ward to advance to third.
I think it might have had to do with the fact that Ward was standing at second when the ball got into the glove of Zeppieri. So maybe they're awarding him the extra base on.
Well, now there's a conversation happening. Pete Kiefer, the field manager for the Panthers, now chatting with the first base umpire, just looking to get clarification. The throw over, no, thought he was going to throw over to first. Yes, he will. Don't know why he did that. He didn't even touch the bag. But again, Ward is on third base. And he is dancing down the line there. Now they're going to throw back over to first. And A.J. Carosas will touch the bag, but the signal is safe.
Unclear exactly what was going on there. Ball did go out of play, so regardless, Ward would advance. I think they awarded him third base because he was standing at second when the ball entered the glove of Zeppieri.
So all that to say, Connor Morrow is up to bat and now faces a 1-0 count.
Morrow, 1 for 3 on the night. Flew out in the first, struck out in the fourth, and then reached base on the hit and run.
That one sent into right field and caught on the run by Penalve. The throw home is on line, but too late. And the Royals tack another one on to make it 11-6.
Yeah, much needed a run there for the Royals. A 5-run cushion with just 3 outs remaining for the Panthers. Feels very, very solid for this team. Some movement out in the Royals bullpen as well.
I would have loved to just have Ward stay on third there, because now you put a runner in scoring position with Damon Topley coming up. Or no, looks like he's going to the bench. He's already got his at-bats or the plate appearances to qualify for the postseason. I think they might be going to a pinch hitter here.
Oh, that wouldn't be surprising given that there's no runners on base and he's qualified for the playoffs.
So again, there's 2 away. There's nobody on. Topley was in the on-deck circle for that entire at-bat, and they have just switched it up. There is somebody else in there now. And trying to get loose, just holding on here. So
Hammond.
that is going to be Ethan Hammond that's going to come in here for Guelph.
Your pinch hitter for Guelph, number 28, Ethan.
So Ethan Hammond will take the place of Damon Topley. Again, nobody on base, like you said. Might as well have Ethan Hammond take some hacks here. Again, if Ward stays on third, I think Damon Topley gets another hack at it.
Hammond batting .237 on the season in 118 at-bats. No home runs, but 21 RBIs.
Takes one upstairs for ball 1. So again, it's 11-6 Guelph. And Toronto has taken a lead. 14-13 now for the Maple Leafs over Brantford. It is in the bottom of the 6th, only the top of the 5th, were there no runs scored in that game.
That's Christy Pitts, dude.
That is Christy Pitts in a nutshell. The 1-1. That one missing upstairs. I think I got to text my friend Tommy West, who's calling that game tonight in Toronto, see how he's doing. See how he's holding up.
Yeah, those long ones are brutal out there. Under the tent as well. There's no booth in Toronto.
Oh, absolutely. That's going to go right across Broadway for a strike here on Hammond.
I believe it's Owen Newman throwing out in the Guelph Royals bullpen.
That one missing outside. Very, very much possibly. 3 balls, 2 strikes here on Hammond. And that'll miss for ball 4. And that'll set things up here for Kaner Pena.
Hammond with a nice little pinch hit walk. Enters the game, gets on base straight away. That's got to feel good.
Absolutely. So Kitchener Pena struck out back in the second. His last at bat was a walk. That one missing on the outside.
Kitchener Pena at the plate.
The 1-0. That'll go in for strike number 1. Of course, a special shout out to all the juniors that are going back to school for the Royals. I believe that includes Owen Newman after tonight. The 1-1. Skied over to left field. That's a base hit. Kitchener Pena with his first hit of the ball game.
And it was bound to happen sooner or later for Kitchener Pena, having an excellent second half of this season. Reached base in the 7th with a walk, sac fly back in the 6th, and finally records a single on the night.
To the number 8 hitter we go, Andy Leader, a pair of singles in tonight's ball game. As Guelph just looking to hold on here to this 11-6 lead. Possibly looking to add to the total. And keep in mind, this was a 5-1 Panthers lead at one point. All the way back in the top of the 5th. A.J. Karosis's 3-run home run put them way on top. A lot has happened since. The 0-1, that one is going to get by Yosuke Fuji. Getting the wave home is Hammond, and it's a 1-run double for Andy Leader to make it 12-6.
Nice job there by Leader. Just pulls it hard down the line, makes some nice contact on the inside pitch. And the Royals tacking on some major insurance runs here. Now they lead by 6.
The Panthers need to stop the bleeding here.
We'll get a lefty-lefty matchup with Patterson at the plate.
This is going to be interesting, too, because, again, the longer this game goes, the less. Again, you only have to do a drive down Highway 7 to get home tonight if you're the Kitchener Panthers. But you have that 2 o'clock first pitch against Welland. You know, it is a short turnaround, even if you're playing at home tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, well, and we're approaching 11 p.m. here. Still a full other inning left to play as well.
Well, guys will usually get in around noon for a 2 o'clock start. Swing and a miss for strike 1. So you think about it, you get out of here. You make it home, you're probably settling into bed around maybe midnight, 12:30, depending on how long this game goes. You wake up, and then you're getting right back at it immediately. The 1-1. Skied foul. And again, depending on the results of tonight's game and the Toronto game as well, you know, tomorrow could mean absolutely everything for Kitchener, or and I don't want to say absolutely nothing, because again, you're facing Welland tomorrow afternoon. If Toronto wins and Kitchener loses here tonight, that's your first round opponent. You could make a statement tomorrow. So it could mean a lot for them as there's strike 3 on Ashton Patterson. But another 2 runs come in to score for Guelph, and we're heading to the 9th here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. The Panthers trailing by 6, looking to get back into this one here on Royals TV. All right, Edgar Garcia is going to come into the ball game here for the Guelph Royals. And just for anybody that didn't believe me, there you see it. We've been showing the Toronto-Brantford game all night, and they're doing the exact same thing. That is the precipice of scoreboard watching, to say the very least. 2 active games. There you see it right there. When we're going to break, if they're playing, we show them. If they're going to break, they show us if we're not on break. It's been one of those nights where, again, Kitchener keeping a very close eye on that ball game in Toronto tonight, because it does play a huge factor in to their first round opponent in the playoffs. As we welcome in Edgar Garcia here for the Guelph Royals, as Guelph looks to close off their regular season on a high. Remember, their next home game will be on Saturday. That'll be game 2 of their first round series against an opponent to be determined. Yosuke Fuji, Junior Ibarra, and AJ Karosis due up here for the Panthers. Holds off on the pitch, but that's going to go across for a strike. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Edgar Garcia needs no introduction. So much former Major League experience. Pitched with the Phillies back in 2019, the Rays in 2020, the Reds in 21, and the Twins again in 2021.
The 0-2 missing high and away.
Just electric stuff. A power fastball. He mixes it super well with the off speed. Has been one of, if not the most effective pitchers in the IBL this season.
The 1-2. Fouled back. Fuji 1 for 4 with a single. Again, Kitchener with one more game on the regular season. That will be tomorrow at Jack Couch Park. 2 o'clock first pitch against the Welland Jackfish. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Yosuke Fuji goes down.
Panthers down to their final 2 outs after that strikeout for Yosuke Fuji.
Junior Ibarra.
So Junior Ibarra now the batter. Hit a home run his last time up. It was more of a 50-50 ball down the left field side that ended up just going on the right side of the foul pole.
Yeah, towering blast, though.
Oh, absolutely it was. Squibber to Torres, gets it on the hop. They've handcuffed him there for a moment, but that's going to result in a 4-3, and the Panthers are down to their final outs.
First baseman, number 11, AJ Karosis.
Last chance is AJ Karosis. That one over the head of Morrow, a base hit for Karosis, and the Panthers will stay alive here.
Center fielder, number 1, Ruta Asawa.
Kitchener showing some signs of life. Not ready to say goodnight just yet.
Oh, down by 6. And this is Runta Osawa, the Japanese import, who is 1 for 4. Edgar Garcia gets set. Pena setting up outside. That one missing on the outside edge. Runner's going to go. That'll be in defensive indifference as A.J. Carosis gets into scoring position.
Records the strike there on Osawa, so now down to their final 2 strikes are the Kitchener Panthers.
And the Panthers stay alive here. Takes away. That one's fouled back. Charlie Towers on deck if the Panthers stay alive beyond Osawa. The fans start to get loud here at Hastings Stadium. Down to the final strike. Here it comes, the 1-2, and on the outside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fans start to get loud here yet again. Garcia looking to put an exclamation point. The 2-2 and strike 3. The Royals win it.
What a job there by Edgar Garcia. Comes in and shuts it down in the bottom of the 9th, really just showing why he was a former Major League pitcher there. Just the stuff looking electric from him. Great comeback by the Guelph Royals. They were down 5-1 at one point, and they end up at 12-6 on the back of a very, very vital 6th inning where they scored 6 runs.
Yeah, when you look at that 5th inning for the Panthers, they score 4 runs, including the 3-run home run from A.J. Carosis. And Dino Ramel is sending a message to the fans here in Guelph. I don't think we really have it mic'd up, but just obviously showing his appreciation. Looks like somebody is filming this as well, so you'll be able to see this on the social media channels for the Guelph Royals. But again, you go back to that 5th inning, a 5-1 lead for the Kitchener Panthers. Guelph comes back with 3 runs in the 5th, makes it a 5-4 game, and then absolutely explodes for 6 runs in the 6th. The home runs, were part of the story in this game. Guelph Royals get a couple of guys qualified for the postseason. But when we look at, we looked at that graphic earlier on in this game where you compared the first 4 games of August versus the last 4 games that they've had overall. A stark difference when it comes to the offense. The average dropping about 50 points, really. The pitching starting to get better, though. The pitching held up pretty well here for the Royals, especially in the last couple of innings. But the bats really came alive here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was just on what Dino Ramel spoke about. It's just the approach that they were showing tonight. They were consistently getting ahead in the count, in control of their at-bats. And yes, the home runs were a big part of the story tonight, but it was also the timely hits, the extra base, the doubles from Takamatsu, and just it was a full team effort tonight. Every single one of the Guelph Royals reached base at a certain point in this game.
Standings implications. Let's throw it one more time to our out-of-town and that game in Toronto. It is a 14-13 Toronto lead. So if that holds up, Kitchener would clinch 8th place and have to face the Welland Jackfish in the first round of the playoffs. So really, they're going to be scoreboard watching all the way down Highway 7 back to Kitchener tonight. Again, if Toronto loses, there's still some hope, but Kitchener has to win that game tomorrow against the Welland Jackfish. But for the Guelph Royals, they have wrapped up 6th place. The next home game will be Game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round series against either Barrie or London. Guelph fans, just watch that game, because the loser of that Barrie-London game in Barrie at 4 o'clock, you can set your timers. That's going to be on Baycats TV on the Barrie Baycats YouTube channel. The loser of that game will be Guelph's first-round opponent. For Noam Streifer, my name is Mark Pare, saying so long here from Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Once again, the final score, the Guelph Royals 12, the Kitchener Panthers 6. Good night, everybody.